realise the cost in that kind of thing, do you not, Norm? Like, I just don't. I'm not convinced that makes a great deal of sense as an operating model for a club.
No, it doesn't. There are some clubs...
And I get that you don't have many alternatives, right? Like, what are you going to do? Just sit there, roll out the same players every week and say, oh, well, that's our lot. So in a way, you have to admire them for trying, but it just... Yeah, I don't think it's ever led to much good.
No, it's a difficult one for the club. I mean, they've been down for quite some time. They've found it hard to string wins together. They've found it hard to get players to come to the club in recent years, and I suppose something different. But as John said, if that's right, if that's what's happened, I was going to say, why is the reason that they now haven't got players when at the start of the year they were going to have two sides comfortably? It's a domino effect. One or two go, and somebody else will say, well, we're going, and how does the club stop it? Because in this day and age, unless there's a real good reason, it's very difficult for a club to hold the clearance back.
Especially when there's 9 clubs within half an hour of the joint. But there's no shortage of options to go to. If you did want to leave Maryborough, there's plenty for you to go and look at. That is for sure. We're here at Tannery Lane today, casting our eye across all things Bendigo footy before we hone in on this game, which is the Strathfieldsaye Storm taking on Eaglehawk. On the ladder as it stands, it is second and third. Both of these teams undefeated through the opening 2 rounds of the season. A break and we'll build up to the opening bounce here at Tannery Lane. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Round 3 in Bendigo football, 2 of the modern day rivals in the BFNL clash at Tannery Lane this afternoon. It is Strathfieldsaye and Eaglehawk, 3-time grand finalists last decade. These two teams met in a semi-final last year. It was the Strathfieldsaye Storm who progressed through to the third week of finals. They were knocked out on their way through. Of course, Golden Square going on to win that grand final last season. These two teams have reloaded and they are looking to get set to go again in season 2024. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Norm Jenkin with you. Great to have your company. Local footy lives at Fresh. Bendigo, our broadcast sponsors today. Parsons Towing, Castlemaine, Bendigo City Framers, JB Restumping, Jason Westcott Builder, and also Bendigo Truck Centre. Terrific sponsors this afternoon of our broadcast and make it all possible here in the beautiful Iveco, which you can drive away if you've got a little bit of spare dollarage. You need a 14 lazy pallet axle truck. I've no idea what any of that means, but what I do know is it's a very comfortable thing to sit in the back of. So if that's what you want a truck for, to sit in the back of it and park it alongside the oval at the footy, then this would be the perfect machine for you. So thanks to our sponsors, Bendigo Truck Centre, for their assistance in the broadcast this afternoon. Did I sell that?
You did.
Do you reckon how would I go as a truck salesman?
Well, I reckon
I'm in the market for a ute at the moment.
They might
but I don't quite need this level of sort of space.
I'd be too scared to do anything in it. Look how clean it is. It's immaculate. So,
it is.
No, loved your style, and yes, thanks for the support of our sponsors, Bendigo Trucks.
We shouldn't overlook, we haven't been out here for a while. I reckon it's been several years since we were out here at Strathfieldsaye. And you know, you guys would have been here more recently than me as well, but yeah, it's nice to be back. We've caught a couple of games here boundary side. Of course, we used to call them the timekeeper's box behind us, which was about 50 metres away from the ground, which made things pretty challenging, but it's a beautiful day, that next to no wind, not a cloud in the sky, not many clouds in the sky, and those that are there are only very faint, but it's a nice day for footy.
And it's a glorious venue. I went for a walk out in the middle and met the umpires a little while ago, Joel, and it's quite firm, but it's not overly firm, not as hard as the QEO, so there's a little bit of give. I can remember last time I was calling footy here, the Sheepwash Creek End. Yep. Is that right?
Yes, Brian Mansbridge may have mucked that up once or twice
and
turned our broadcast into something that wasn't necessarily safe for that time slot.
Oh, I was going to say, I had to concentrate when I was saying it then slowly and concentrating, so God knows what's going to come out of my mouth when it goes down there.
I don't know, how difficult is it? It's where you wash your sheep, the Sheepwash Creek.
Righto, well, there we go.
Just don't say it too quickly, and we'll be right.
We'll might go to just the creek end.
Yeah, you can go. Happy with the creek end, of course. The Tannery Lane end. You've got Strathfieldsaye Road out on the other side, the junior oval behind us, and of course the Strathfieldsaye Jets Cricket Club, where some of the poorest people have come through in terms of junior cricket norms. Just looking firmly at myself there, who went on to do absolutely nothing in a cricketing sense.
I thought you were a Bucks boy.
No, I played senior cricket at Bucks, but I played junior cricket out here at Strathfieldsaye.
Yep.
Yes.
Chasing the dollar?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a bit like you at Chewton, just trying to bleed those particular organisations out of all their cash. Eaglehawk 8-12-60 over the Strathfieldsaye Storm 3-4-22 in the reserves. Under 18s clash was an absolute hurler today, Norma. So it's the last sort of quarter and a bit of that game. Eaglehawk getting across the line, but they had to deal with a pretty fair fight.
Yeah, they did. It was an excellent 4-goal last quarter by Eaglehawk to come out on top by 16 points, and it was only 3 late goals late in the final quarter that saw them get over the line. Strath got back within a couple of points, but then it was Eaglehawk that kicked away, and they won 9-8-62 to 6-10-46. So a good start to the day, and there were some very good skills on show too from some of these young players from both sides.
Absolutely, there was. So that's the early game today, and it's Eaglehawk doing it pretty nicely in the reserve. They're always a good reserves team, Eaglehawk. They've always been strong in the reserve grade. They've been able to keep a lot of their players over the years and attract a lot of players back. So it is one of the strengths of their footy club. They've been able to rely on for a long time. That their reserves have been a pretty decent outfit throughout the years. Before we get stuck into this game, we might just cast our gaze a little bit further out to some of the district leagues. Round 3 out your way, where you're a life member in the MCDFNL, Norm Jenkin. The games today: Avoca and Newstead, Carisbrook and Campbell's Creek, Harcourt and Denali.
Well, that's the game of the round. That's 2 versus 3 at this early stage.
I won't bother asking you the question at the end of these list of games then. Lexton and Talbot. I would have said maybe that's the game of the round. Maldon and Maryborough Giants. Navarre and Trentham. That could have an argument as being the game of the round. Now, Norm, is the reason that you've said Harcourt and Denali is the only reason you think that's the game of the round because it involves Harcourt?
No, it's because of their ladder positions. Harcourt currently second on the ladder with 2 wins. Denali third with 2 wins, and not a lot of percentage separates these two sides. And it's actually a danger game for Harcourt because Denali have improved in a big way this year, and they could well be in the fight for a top 4 game at the end of the year. But this is a game that they must win, and I think they'll take it right up to Harcourt today.
I was hoping he wouldn't have as good a reason as that.
That's well, he's got it all in his back pocket. I'll also ask you another question, Norm. Feels like a lifetime ago we were out at Maryborough and we had a look at the first game between the Giants and Talbot. We're now, a couple of rounds in, 3 rounds in?
3 rounds in, yes.
How are the Giants situated? What's the initial, now the honeymoon's over after a week or 2, we've given them a little bit of a spell. How are they looking?
Well, they faced their first tough opposition last week. They had the trip to Trentham, and they went down by around about 12 goals. It was 23-7 to 10-9, but they were competitive. And so long as they're competitive in games this year, they will win matches when it comes down to it. And they were very unfortunate in that game at Hedges Oval. We broadcast round 1, which of course they had the week before the season opened in its full, and it was a very good game where they went down by 1 point to Talbot. So they've been competitive in both matches this year. To get 10 goals against Trentham down there there's no mean effort. A lot of the more senior sides, your Natty Bialabas, your Navarres, your Harcourts, your Carisbrooks, have struggled to do that over the last 4 or 5 years when they've travelled down there. So they'll be competitive, they'll win their games, and they've got plenty to build on because it's not just a one-season situation for them. It's a chance to build as the season goes on and as the years go on.
In the Loddon Valley League today, Bridgewater and Inglewood, a couple of the local rivals out there in that competition, do battle at Bridgewater. You've got Bears Lagoon, Serpentine and Newbridge, that game up at Serp. Midiamo and Maiden Gully YCW, that game is at Midi. And the headline act is Morong and Pyramid Hill, the grand final replay from last year. And we get an early sense of whether anyone's caught up to that Mighty Panthers team, Norm.
And that Mighty Panthers team's had a big turnover over the summer period, and they're still able to defeat oppositions by as much as they did last year. I mean, I look at it and you wonder how much Bridgewater's caught up, because Bridgewater almost went down to Newbridge in round 1. It was only a late flurry that got them over the line. And Morong played Newbridge last week and defeated them by 24 goals. So it'll be interesting today to see whether Pyramid Hill has bridged the gap a little bit, or whether it's going to be Morong that roll on for their 3rd premiership in 3 years.
They've got certainly got some goal kicking, some firepower up there at Pyramid Hill this season, and one of our favourites, Ed Cabernet, still rolling around for Pyramid Hill. He just continues to get better with age, Johnny, does Ed Cabernet. Just ageing beautifully is that young man. In the HDFNL this afternoon, North Bendigo of course, in a game that they kicked 21 goals, 2 in last year to defeat Heathcote. They were the only team to go out to Barrack Reserve and knock the Saints off. They get the return trip out there today, do the Bulldogs. White Hills and Colburn Navin do battle. That's been a really good game, a really good fixture in recent seasons. Huntley and Lockington Vermorm out at Strosh Reserve, and Litchfield, Gunbower and Elmore round out the round in HDFL.
Yes, and we'll find out how far off the pace Colburn Navin are this year, because White Hills have had a blistering start to the season. 3 wins from 3 games, and as you say, the game of the round would certainly be Heathcote North Bendigo, where it is second versus third on the ladder. North Bendigo 2 wins, Heathcote 3 wins up to this stage.
Absolutely. Interesting in the HDFL last week, of course, all those results, absolute blowouts. So the closest of the 4 games last week in the HDFL, 89 points. Hopefully we get something a little bit more competitive than that today. And a league that we know always delivers close games is the North Central Footy League, Normie. St Arnaud have got a few interesting names running around today. Josh Caddy, Will Chambers, the ex-Melbourne Storm player, going around for St Arnaud this afternoon. They've got a bit of a function on up there. Who else is playing in the North Central League today?
Donald will host Nullarbor, and Donald have got 1 win for the year. Nullarbor yet to break their ice. They've only had the 1 match, and they went down to Birchip Watcham in round. Went down to Birchip Watcham in round 1. Charlton will host Wedderburn. A chance for Charlton to get off the mark. Wedderburn sitting third on the ladder, so we'll be looking to increase their position there. And Sea Lake Nandaley in the game of the round will be up against Witchy-Proof Narraport, who have started the season reasonably well in the North Central this year.
Of course, a bit of change on the horizon for a couple of the clubs in that competition with Witchy, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they track throughout the course of the year. One thing you can guarantee, though, is that you never get 4 blowouts you never get a weekend of blowouts in the North Central Footy League. 1 game is always just about single digits.
Yep, no, that's true, but it wasn't quite that low. Well, it was almost last week, because it was 16 points, Sulak Nandaley over Wedderburn.
That'll do, Normie. I'll take that. That's close enough. What's the close game today in the North Central if you had to throw a dart at the wall?
If you had to throw a dart at the wall, maybe Sealac Nandaley, Witchy-Proof Narraport could be the close one.
I think Donald Nullarbor could be a reasonable game.
Donald will have to bounce back after last week. I mean, Birchip Watcham beat them by some 12 goals, so it was 4-4-28. Birchip Watcham 15-12, 102. So
Just haven't bounced out of the blocks up at Donald. You never know
at Duck Park. That's right.
Could be a quacking day for it up there at Duck Park. Final score here in the reserves, 1967. I'm ashamed of myself for that. To 3-6-24, the Strathfieldsaye Storm. So it's a 43-point win to Eaglehawk. In the reserves, the senior teams aren't too far away from making their way out onto Tannery Lane. Glorious sunshine here. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Wherever you are, wherever you're listening, whether it's in Central Victoria on 101.5, you might be listening on the live stream through the Bendigo Footy Netball League's Facebook page. Good afternoon to you if you are. Or, of course, you'll be listening wherever you are on the Community Plus Radio app, or tune in right around the world. Thanks for joining us this afternoon as Strathfieldsaye take on Eaglehawk. Here, our umpires are Andrew Snell and Scott Bennett. They're the 2 men you went out to meet earlier on.
Yes, sir.
Was that an arranged meeting, or just a sort of an impromptu catch-up?
No, just I see them out there, and when they're out there just checking out the centre. And
they didn't run the other way?
No, and unfortunately I didn't recognise Andrew Snell. I said to him, who was umpiring? He said, Scotty Bennett and I. And then he looked at me and I said, excuse my ignorance, but who are you? And I haven't seen him umpire a number of games already, but anyway, of course his brother umpires as well, Mark Snell.
Yes.
Yep. But apologies to Andrew if you're listening back to this later on. Who are you? And then he said, who are you, to me, so I guess we're even.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a nice bit of work from Andrew Snell. The Eaglehawk team are out there at the moment. Clayton Holmes is out there for that Hawks side. Clayton Holmes and Mitch Ronchieri. The only 2 changes from the team that beat Golden Square a couple of weeks ago, Jack Thompson and Cam McGlashan, come out of the team for Eaglehawk. Luke Marchese, Charles Dole come in for Strathfieldsaye, who lose Zach Charles, I should say, and Caleb Sheehan from the team that beat Golden Square last week. A Golden Square team, Norm, that kicked 5 goals 19 and 0 goals 13 in the second half. I don't think they were getting that kind of luck in front of the sticks today, the Storm defence.
No, you would think that the Storm defence will have to be at their best today, because when you look at the forward line, Richards, Ilesley, Neves when he's resting, O'Shannessy, I like the way Sam goes about his game. He's a very lively young player, and He's got a lovely leap on him, but he's also very good at ground level. So pressure's going to be on the likes of Shannon Geary, Ben Lester down the back, along with Jackson Lay, to see how they can hold the Eaglehawk forward line.
Absolutely. I reckon Charles Dole is out there in number 24, just for those who are playing along at home. So he was the one player from Strathfieldsaye who wasn't listed with a number on the sheets, and looks like he is out there in number 24 for this afternoon. Eaglehawk warming up at the creek end of the ground here at Tannery Lane. Johnny, in Strathfieldsaye up at the Tannery Lane end. Are these two sides playing for sort of the third seed in your mind, Norm, as we look across the season as a whole? You've got Sandhurst and Gisborne, who seem to be everyone's favourites to sort of lead the way this year. Where have you got these two teams in that pecking order?
Well, before the season started, not knowing what Strath had picked up and how they were going to form together under new coach Luke Fremantle, I sort of had Eaglehawk in that third spot. But yeah, Storm today, I think they're up to challenge Eaglehawk to see whether they can gain that position of third on the ladder, because, as you say, it looks like Sandhurst and Gisborne are going to be the top two, and very hard to separate the two of them. I mean, last week Sandhurst got the job done, but when you looked at it, it was the same amount of scoring shots from both sides. Sandhurst had a run the week before, whereas Gisborne were first up, and it's always difficult first up, and we'll have to just see how Gisborne go in the coming weeks, and how Sandhurst goes after the bye this week.
What would you want to see if you were Trav Matheson today for Eaglehawk compared to what we saw in round one?
Well, I don't want you to sit it on Darcy Richards' head. That's what I don't want you to do, like they did for the best part of 3 quarters, and they just didn't move the ball smoothly. They didn't look like they had structure, the rebounding off half back. And Joel, I talked about it just a little while ago pre-game, that the consistency of playing a couple of games in a row. If Eaglehawk come out here and they give a half decent effort, I'm still not convinced about them, because I just haven't seen enough. Because if they play poorly, we could say, oh well, they've had a broken start, so we'll just give them one more week. Whereas the Storm, they've been much more settled. I think they've had 2 or 3 games in a row now, and they've performed well. So there's not looking for excuses. I don't think there's any excuses for Storm. They should win, and if they don't, they would be disappointed. But Eaglehawk, they just, and it might be my imagination, but they've got a little get out of jail free card if they don't perform quite right, because they just haven't had that continuity. But in answer to your question, I want to see effort. I want you to see to deliver the ball correctly into the forward line. Don't sit it on the top of Darcy Richards' head. And I'd also like to see you using young Bailey Isley, because we saw a period of time where in that third quarter for about 15 minutes he looked dominant. But they were sitting on the top of his head as well at times, but he was good enough to clunk a couple.
Righto, time to get down to brass tacks. It is Strathfieldsaye and Eaglehawk. Who wins it, John Hunter?
The Storm, just. I'm going with the Storm for all those reasons that I just mentioned, the continuity and also being at home.
Normie?
No, well, I'm going the other way. Yeah, I think Eaglehawk can come out here to Tannery Lane today and can go away with the points. And one of the reasons being is they've got an excellent dual ruck combination this year, which is probably going to be the best dual ruck combination in the league, with Neves and Frost, and that'll give them first use of the ball a lot more than what Strath are going to get it. And I also think that they can be the defence that can hold up a Strath side that love to overuse the football, in my opinion.
I'm going to, with absolutely no conviction, tip Eaglehawk as well, but out here it is a different ballgame to playing at famous Canterbury Park. We know that is for sure. The wide expanses suit the Strathfieldsaye team down to the ground, so looking forward to seeing how these two teams go about it this afternoon as they lock horns here at Tannery Lane. They're just about ready for a start. Two teams that met in the semi-final last year, and they're going to be right in the pecking order again in season 2024. Strathfieldsaye and Eaglehawk, they're undefeated through the first 2 weeks of the season. There's a couple of kids who still want to kick goals down at the Tannery Lane end. The
That hasn't changed.
Umpires will clear those kids off the
It's
ground.
always a problem out here.
And we will get underway here in round 3 of Bendigo footy. Big day of games. We'll bring you all the action throughout the afternoon here at Fresh Bendigo. And we are set for a start. Scott Bennett holds the ball aloft. The Storm in the Borough here at Tannery Lane. Here's John Hunter.
That'll be Frost of Eaglehawk versus Simpson of the Storm. Simpson won the tap. He tapped it into the direction of Lockie Gill. And we'll have a stoppage. It got held up pretty quickly. Umpire blew his whistle very quickly indeed. Tapped down there by Frost. Taps it marginally forward. A nice little pick up there by Bennett. He sends it long inside forward 50, but running onto the footy for the Storm will be Charles Dole.
Yeah, sends it out wide. A bouncing kick. Bounces and tracks its way out to the boundary line in front of Sam Thompson. He was pushed across, so to the footy. And it'll be tossed back into play. Centre wing of the outer side here, the Strath Road side of the ground. Any matchups that catch your eye early stages?
Charles Dole's got the job on Darcy Richards, as seen from that first contest today. So that'll be interesting for Charles.
Silogasiu playing out a full forward for Strathfieldsaye. Quick kick up toward half forward. And again, here is Dole standing in the road in front of Darcy Richards. Makes his second intercept mark of the opening term. Kicks into the centre square. Good mark held in by Mulquinny, who clutched it to his chest just inside the centre square, still in the Storm's defensive half.
He'll spread it across half back and find Harvey. Harvey now goes towards the boundary line. The kick was okay. It's a kick forward by Blanford. He kicks and finds a teammate. They're moving it nicely through Clossy. Now he comes inboard and it's been marked. Working hard again was Harvey. Harvey will go inside forward 50, but intercepting mark there for the Borough will be Kuma.
He was so good in round 1. Palakuma caught the eye of coach Tram Matson, as he told us earlier. Sends it wide to Billy Evans. Overlap run to Joel Mullen. Kicks down the outer side wing. Finds Braden Frost just in front of halfway outer side of the ground for the Borough. He kicks toward half forward. An awkward marking attempt by Rolls. Good enough to control it. Comes infield. Finds Evans. 60 from home. Cruising past is Ben Thompson. Worked himself into trouble. Now the handball back. Rouse inside forward 50 again. Almost the mark, and it is. It's pulled in by Olsley. 30 metres from home. He had a couple of bites at it and a couple of opponents good enough to hang on, and he'll go back for the first set shot of the game.
And that's certainly mismatch there with Osley up against the smaller player in Ethan Freeman.
So he had a really good third term against Golden Square a couple of weeks ago, and it's a really good start here for Bailey Olsley. First goal of the game goes the way of the Borough, and they lead by that kick. Couple of minutes played, opening term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers.
Yes, a good build-up by Eaglehawk there, although we almost saw Jacob O'Brien run himself into trouble as he went past the handball. It's a handball that he shouldn't have called for, but he was good enough to get out of trouble, and it was a lovely centering kick into Olsley, who, as I said, he had the height advantage over a much smaller opponent.
It'll be Simpson back in the middle now for the Storm. Took almost 3 minutes to get that opening goal, so they just were feeling themselves out. Simpson wins the ball for the Storm and sends it wide to half forward. He puts it in the path of Carson James. He soccers it towards the boundary line. Thompson getting involved, pick it up on the boundary line for the Borough. And he might get a free kick for too high. No, he hasn't. Outer side wing. It will be a ball in. 1 goal straight, 6 the Borough lead. The Storm yet to score. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Ball chucked back in. Simpson reaches up, knocks it down. Hawks there through Holmes. Handball to Evans. Runs an arc, defensive side of the stoppage. Kicks into the centre of the ground. That's great mark. Pulled in by Tom Bennett athletically. Drops it inside the forward 50. Olsley uses the body and plucks another. He was having a nudge, Featherby under it. And the high raking kick inside the forward 50 was swallowed up by the Eaglehawk forward, who can go back and kick his second within a couple of minutes.
Yes, once again a good build-up by Eaglehawk. Lovely use of handball and short passing.
This is just the start that they wanted, Eaglehawk. Olsley's finish is just away to the left. He left it narrow, but very promising stuff for the Borough and for their young forward. They lead by 7. They've played 4 minutes in the opening term.
And Oscar Madden's got the match up on Malik Gordon down in Strath's forward line.
Cooper Jones for the Storm, played on quickly from the kick in from full back. Spots up a teammate, Featherby. Feather will now go cross into its defensive zone and find Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe quickly had to make Joel work. Spills to the back of the pack. Kuma goes in hard on hands and knees. Good, strong hard tackle. It was borderline a sling. Umpire didn't agree on Kuma, and in fact he might get a free kick. He thought he had a free kick. It's not. It's a ball up. Big tough play. 70 out from goal. Eaglehawk, good strong start here. Up they'll go, up in the ruck. Frost wins it, trying to make a path. Would be Evans. Now it's a hurried kick. The Storm will clear it to the wing. Overrunning in the footy there for the Burrowers Langford. Ball just in dispute. Kuma, nice strong handball. Evans over the top. They're off half back now, moving it nicely through Langford, and he'll spread it to the outer side wing.
He opens the field up. Bennett couldn't take the mark. Former Storm player bubbles it a couple of times in the centre of the ground, gives it back to Angove, and then he measures the pass pretty well in the end. And the Borough can hold on to things across half back. Gregor's got the ball in his hands, shoots it inside, just across the defensive 50. Kuma, it's a much slower attack than he's usually. Just saunters off half-back with a bounce, smashes it up the line. It'll sit up for Gill, prolific last week for the Storm. Back to Dole, across the defensive 50 now for Strathfieldsaye. It's a nice switching kick, and they've opened up things well here, the Storm. Now back in board, they come to Jones. They trail by 7 points. They're inside the defensive 50, Strathfieldsaye. We're 6 minutes into the opening term.
Jones to Geary on half-back. Geary, he spreads it across. He's done that a couple of times now, across half-back to Lockie Gill. Lockie Gill will straighten up, down the line, finds a teammate. That was King. They'll get it back now. It was a nice bit of work by Gill. They'll go inboard. Shannon Geary might have got one too high. Umpire let it go. Running onto the footy will be King. Tried to get involved the old one too, but it looks like they've coughed it up. Turnover. Good strong tackle. It'll be a ball up, I'd say, between wing on the broadcast side and left half forward to the Sheep Wash Creek end. We'll have a ball up. Just nailed that, Joel.
Yes, well executed.
Got it
Jones.
out.
Well executed.
Oh
Flossie had a play at it. So too did Gill. Braden Frost picked it up, dropped it, just got boot to ball. Umpire waves play on. Evans has been busy early. Offloads here to Holmes, who runs through half-back, kicks an absolute wobbler, bounces its way out toward Ronchieri. He couldn't take it. Geary was there for the Storm. And we'll have a ball up. Been a long time since these two teams have met, and there's only been one Geary out there. It's just Shannon this afternoon between these two teams. Going to have another ball up here after that was a little bit askew. Right on centre wing, broadcast side of the ground. Hawks by 7.5 gone opening term.
Frost, front position, taps it into the middle. Whistle on play. They'll get a free kick here, the Storm. They need something. They don't look potent at the moment. Malik Gordon, he'll go to half forward. Good strong contest.
Free to Eaglehawk.
Fresh Bendigo score update. Castlemaine with the first 2 on Golden Square down at the camp. They lead by 13 early stages.
Holmes gathers on half forward for the Borough. Goes goalward. The goals are open and he slammed it into the post for a minor score. Did everything but score the minor. 1-2-8 the Borough. They lead the Storm. Yet to score. 8 minutes gone. Opening term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Here's Clayton Holmes at his aggressive best on that occasion. Long kick in from fullback for the Storm from Ethan Featherby. That's a half back on that outer side. Quick hands from Shannon Geary. Flicked it on to Harvey. He goes by hand immediately. Darting kick up the line in towards Shishka. Couldn't find him. Holmes, dangerous handball to halfback. Kuma's good enough to shred the tackle. Sends it wide toward Bryce Frost. Finds him on the back point of the square for Eaglehawk. And the two Blues look to build the footy up again. They lead by 8 points. 8.5 minutes played. Opening stages here at Tannery Lane. Frost chips out wide to Sam Thompson. Comes over the top and finds Mullen.
Mullen plays on quickly. He'll look to go shallow inside forward 50. Almost spotted up a player. It was neat, but didn't quite come off. It was O'Sullivan. Mopping up now will be Harvey off half-back. Offering support was Ron Chieri. He goes further afield and finds Mulquinny. Mulquinny to the outer side. It's a bouncing footy. Right half forward, right up against the boundary line. His target over there was James Shishka to the Sheep Wash Creek end. I had to get it out again. I'm going to really emphasise that for the rest of the afternoon and annoy everybody. 1-2-8 the Borough. The Storm yet to score. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
No potential to go wrong at all. Ball tossed back in. Lester out of the ruck. Jams it on the boot quickly. Bruce Frost tried to claim mark, hit about 8 sets of hands on the way through, handed it off to Holmes, kick across the defensive 50, Bolger was there, had a play at it, taken away from him by King, Bolger took it back, then King took him in the tackle, knocked it loose, dragged him to the ground, umpire said play on, and it comes out eventually. O'Brien couldn't handle it, and we'll have a toss in at left half forward for the Storm. Doesn't spend a lot of time in their half early, Norm.
No, Eaglehawk's defence has been great. They've been able to bottle them up and get them to kick laterally across the ground instead of making way down the ground. 5 goals in the opening stages between South Bendigo and Kangaroo Flat. 2 at Dower Park. The Bloods 3 straight lead the Roos 2-1.
Frost front position there again for the Borough. He's rucking well, but it'll be the Storm. They've got the numbers to the back door. Handball received. Ended up with Ratcliffe. He goes centering ball. It was an aggressive kick. It ended up with Dole. Dole now, he swings and goes. Short pass. He's spotted up a player. They're moving nicely through Clossy. Swinging wide handball. It'll come through Jones. Jones looks to come inboard. Offering support there was Clossy. Again, he spreads it further wide. And Harvey dropped a mark he ordinarily would have taken. He had time. He had space. He sends it inside forward 50. Juggling mark there was Sue. Got his hands on the football. Hard up against the line. 40 metres out from the goal. The Storm attack minor score. Still no potency, hasn't hit the scoreboard. Storm yet to score. 1-2-8 the Borough, 11 gone opening turn.
Train your binoculars on this young boundary umpire, Johnny. There's a sign just behind him out on the road there. Can you read that sign to me? That says Sheepwash Creek. That's where we are, right across half forward there. Strathfieldsaye Storm into attack. The ball's brought down to ground and it won't come out from that pack. We will have another ball up. Storm inside forward 50. Haven't scored yet. 11 and a half minutes gone opening term. Borough 1-2-8. Chance here at the stoppage for Bennett of Eaglehawk. He just runs his way back into the pack. Ben Thompson's not letting the footy go. And we'll have another ball up. We're still within 40 of the Storm goal down at the creek end.
Searching for their opening goal here. Isley doing the ruck work in his back zone for Eaglehawk. Sling tackle dangerous. Is he going to pay that? It looked like if there was ever going to be one, Harvey then. But umpire didn't agree. He said he'll ball it up. So up they'll go up in the ruck again. Isley getting involved. Harvey Sharks for the Storm. He'll send it goalward right to the goal line. And a chest mark has been taken by Shishka. Used his body well and marked it right on the line. Might have even been able to. In fact,
no. He did infringe. Yep.
Well, it's gone back the other way. The kick quickly comes out and it ends up with O'Brien of the Borough.
Gee, that's an opportunity gone begging. O'Brien handed it off to Holmes, kicks down the line for Rouse. He's pulled it in at right half back, beyond the boundary line. He stands as he kicks upfield. It's an intelligent kick too. Lands nicely into the path of Ben Thompson. There's mark just in front of halfway, just in front of our broadcast spot. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Thompson drops it inside the forward 50. Richard stands under it. A hand to it from Jones for the Storm. 35 out from the Eaglehawk goal. Desperate defence. Neves comes up with it for Eaglehawk. Hands it off to O'Shannessy. He's ripped down in a tackle. Caught holding the ball. Great stuff from Riley Wilson. And he earns the Storm a free kick inside the defensive 50. Look to move it immediately out to up Marchese, but he's going to be brought back is Riley Wilson. And he'll take it from inside the back 50 for the Storm. They trail still by 8 points. Still haven't scored through 13 minutes.
Wilson unsure where to go. Then he decides to play on and he'll spread it wide. Diving mark. It just wasn't taken by Dole. In fact, it was. He's been getting involved a bit, Dole, hasn't he? Running on now. It's a good bit of work by the Storm. But what's happened here? They're going to cough it up, I think. They are. Turnover. Eaglehawk back inside forward 50. It's at the ankles of Evans. Evans couldn't pick it up. They're still working it. And then another turnover. Picked up by the Storm. And it's kicked long and strong by Marchese.
He bangs it outside the defensive 50. Up toward the wing. Bulges after it for the Hawks. Comes off hands and it'll be tossed in right on halfway on that outer side.
Yes, at this stage in the game, it's the Eaglehawk defence. They're in sync with each other. They're moving backwards and forwards across the ground to cut Strath off.
Fresh Bendigo score updates. South with 5 straight on the board against Kangaroo Flat to lead by 16 points, and Castlemaine by 14 over Golden Square in the early stages. Clearing kick for the Hawks from the stoppage up toward half forward. Cut off by Jones for the Storm. Dangerous kick inside the defensive 50. Umpire spotted a free, and it was Rouse holding on to Leicester. And so the free kick will go to the Strathfieldsaye Storm premiership defender, who sends it out wide to Jones. In the long sleeves this afternoon is Cooper Jones as he stands at half back. Chips it over the top. It's a nice kick. They continue to build it up through Reinheimer.
So Reinheimer, defensive side of centre wing. Scoreboard side on the left. He'll dump it down the line. They'll set themselves. Shishka's with the target. Running onto it, a shark ball by Abe Sheen. And he's coughed it up and it's another turnover and he's kicked it straight to Kuma of the Borough. Kuma will go backwards in order to go forward. So they're looking good here, the Borough off half back. It'll be a long ball out. They'll go into the direction of Rouse. But it's a turnover again. It's kicked it straight to the opposition and he kicked it straight to Clossy. Clossy will go long and strong to the goal square. They'll set themselves. Kuma got his hands on the footy. Sheen runs onto it. Has he toe poked it through? He has. They're all looking at the goal umpire. He's unsure. I reckon the goal umpire might think it's a point that was rushed a little earlier, about a second earlier. He's conferring with the goal umpire and they're all unsure, Norm.
They are very unsure. This is interesting.
I think what happened, the ball looked like it might have went through the points for a start. No, it's a goal. Well, we finally got there. We can't go to the, the replay, of course, but score review, that's what we're after, Joel. 1 goal straight to Storm, 1-2-8 Eaglehawk. And we've gone 16 minutes. Opening term, score sponsor, Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
That's only the second time that Strath have been able to breach the Eaglehawk defence. Up until then they've done very well. And it was a poor kick out by Eaglehawk coming out of defence, which coughed the ball up.
Hosley into the ruck now, the lone goal kicker for the Hawks here in this opening frame. Billy Evans tries to crash his way through in the middle of the ground, taken away from him by Harvey for the Storm. So the two number twos have been in the thick of it early and now they're waxing. Harvey kicked it straight to Evans, almost kicked it straight back to Harvey. Simpson with a little blind turn was very fancy, kicks to full forward, free kick to Gordon. It's a free kick to Gordon. What about the footwork from the big fella, George Simpson, in the middle of the ground? It was the slowest half pirouette you've ever seen, and yet he faked everyone out of their boots. And now a shot from Malik Gordon, who's got it 35 metres out, better than a 45-degree angle to the left of centre.
Yes, it was good work by the big ruckman then, Simpson. He just sort of spun around on the foot, left everybody behind, and then he pinpointed his kick.
So Malik Gordon with an opportunity for the Storm. Kicked 2 last week. He's got 3 on the season thus far. Right foot kick never looked like it. And he splits the gap between the right-hand goal post and the right-hand behind post. 1-1-7 plays 1-2-8. Hawks in front. 17.5 gone. Opening term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Joel Peterson, Norm Jenkin and this man John Hunter with you.
Holmes plays on from fullback for the Borough and he'll send it long. He was unsure where to go. I saw he was frustrated and in fact he's caused a turnover. Now a handball received. It will be the Storm. Blandford, he goes inside forward 50 and a mark's being taken within range by Shishka directly in front.
Yes, the Strath Storm's use of the football now is starting to be a bit of a worry for the Eaglehawk defence, and they're getting in front and they've got every opportunity.
They felt like they've dominated the Borough and this will make them pay if he can kick it directly in front. Right on 50. It's long, it's high, it'll go to the goal line. They're claiming it's touched. Again, have we got any controversy on the goal line? No, we haven't. It's a goal, making the goal umpire work down at the Sheepwash Creek end. That's 2-1-13 now, the Storm. 1-2 Eaglehawk. We're approaching the time on in the opening term. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, it's been a good persistence by Strath to keep this the game moving and be able to pinpoint their opponents who have led up to the football, their teammates who have led up to the football, and they're starting to make the most of it.
Yeah, goal umpire down at the creek end's been kept plenty busy in the early stages, and a couple of conferences down there thus far.
Stress levels through the roof. Yeah. You want to rest by the end of the day?
Absolutely, I'm going to rest by quarter time. Ball back in the middle. Secondary stoppage, almost worked out toward Wilson or Braden Frost. Handball for the Hawks defensively, almost turned it over, and now it has been knocked loose. Socket out toward the boundary line by Mulquinny. At left half forward for Strathfieldsaye. Jeez, really wrenched Palakuma into the ground there, waited for him to get into the right position for the tackle and then dumped him into the turf fiercely. Nothing untoward about it. It was good physical stuff. And a ball up at left half forward for the Storm. Wilson has a go for Strathfieldsaye, and Kuma gets a little bit of his own back, driving him into the turf in the shade. It's left half forward there. We'll do it all again with another stoppage.
Simpson doing pretty well in the ruck for the Storm against a Frost. Now it's tapped in the direction of Thompson. Hurried kick out of the pack though. It'll bounce. Running onto it will be Cooper Jones. He's been good. Feeds it out by hand by Mulquinny. Mulquinny will go inside forward 50, but it's a poor kick. It'll be a turnover, and he's kicked it straight to the opposition. So under a bit of pressure here, the two Blues, the Borough. It'll be a long kick. Looking for Angove. Angove marks. Looking to bring it down the broadcast side wing. Defensive side of the centre. Centre wing, in fact. Long now. It's high. They'll set themselves. Neves got a lot of it. Then he's just kept his feet. He looked to feed it inboard. Then he decides against it. It's a long ball to Isley. Front position. At the back. It's punched. Doing well for the Storm. Tracking it will be Lester. He's got support there by Ratcliffe. They'll see it over the boundary line, 35 out from goal, right in front of the club rooms, and we'll have a ball in. 5-point margin, Storm lead, 21 gone, opening term.
Yes, experienced by Lester then. He waited behind Isley, just gave him a little nudge forward as the ball came in, and then was able to track it himself.
Golden Square on the board with their first of the game down at Camp Reserve. They trail Castlemaine by 7 points early stages. Stoppage here inside forward 50 for the Hawks. Great tackle, Klossy. Gee, Rouse was lucky there. He dragged it in. The pack was on top of him. Umpire blindsided. And we'll have another stoppage. Inside forward 50 for the Hawks. They trail by 5 points after kicking the first goal of the game. Storm with the last two. Ratcliffe dragged off his kick. Slapped out by Mulquinny. Outside the defensive 50 to O'Brien. Back to Holmes for the Hawks. Whips the kick inside the 50. Rouse leapt a week too early. And then Featherby socketed across the boundary line. Bounced on the way through. So it'll be tossed back in front of the throng of Storm supporters out in front of the club rooms in the right forward pocket. Storm 2-1, Eaglehawk 1-2. We're 22 minutes gone here in this opening term. Great to have you with us. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Braden Frost takes front spot. It was tapped down to Harvey. He's immediately tackled by Evans, which has been an entertaining head-to-head duel in the early stages. The two number twos going at it. Now Rowles at the stoppage. He's dispossessed. Umpire said he threw it. And so it'll be a free kick going to George Simpson. He's had a couple of minutes as the Storm's emerging big man. Now he's being called to come back behind his mark. Just a touch of umpiring territory. No, it's not his kick.
Yeah, Shannon Geary's.
No, it's Matt Harvey's.
Matt Harvey, look at that.
Okay, well, umpiring pedantry gets the right result in the end. And now Harvey kicks it all of 12 metres to Blandford, who's run down by O'Shannessy. He appeals for a free kick. And that wasn't the way that the Storm wanted that to unfold at all.
No, it's good work by Eaglehawk then. They knew the short pass was on and they cut it off.
So inside forward 50 for the Hawks. Free kick now in the ruck contest, is it? This one is going to Strathfieldsaye.
At ground level.
And this one is going to Lockie Ratcliffe, who is allowed to take his kick. Sends it out wide looking for Lester or Jackson Lay. Either would do. Bounce for Lester in the end. Handball on the bounce to Harvey at half-back. He kicks down the line looking for teammate there. Not being able to take it was King. Dole slipped in for the Storm, but they turned it over. The Frost brothers. Bryce to Braden. Handball over the top was clever. Kick forward for the Hawks. He's smothered. Still at left half forward for Eaglehawk. Storm take possession back. Now a chain of hand passes through the centre of the ground. Lovely build up. And it's in the hands of Sheehan in the centre circles.
He's got Gordon running shotgun. Gordon will go inside forward 50. He had a good, strong, hard lead, and he hit up Lachlan Gill, who's playing down forward, and on a pretty tight angle, probably 48 from goal, if not a fraction further, in the shadows of the trees, will have a shot at goal. See what he can do with a footy. Lockie Gill now, long and high. This will hurt the Borough if he slams it home. And he doesn't, just sneaks it in for a minor score. So the Storm now go to 2-14. They lead 1-2-8, almost quarter time here. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yeah, scrappy start. Plenty of turnovers in this game so far. Langford in the back pocket to Holmes, who's got it in the defensive goal square. Launches it outside the back 50, clears the head of Bryce Frost. Picked up well on the outer side and surged forward by Ben Thompson for the Hawks. Richards a chance at left half forward, just tries to keep it in front of himself, can't pick it up, eventually he does, got it to O'Sullivan, there's a free kick in there.
Yeah, Richards' leg.
It'll go to Darcy Richards, 52 from home, rolls on immediately, right foot kick, sets sail for home and misses to the right hand side. Minor score for the Hawks, their first score in 15 minutes of play. 1-3-9 to the Storm 2-2-14, 25 gone opening turn.
Blanford will play on from fullback and kick it in for the Storm. Spots up Cooper Jones, racking up the possessions in his back half here, Jones. Spins the ball in his hands and kicks it on the left with the long sleeves on. Goes to Shishka, clunks a mark in front of his eyes.
Do you trust the Premier Data numbers, Johnny?
Yeah,
Cooper Jones last week apparently had 36 disposals and 14 marks. Well, he racked them up last week too.
He's continued on this afternoon as Blanford received a handball, then kicks it to half forward. He's got a running Shannon Geary. Geary will go to the top of the square. They'll set themselves. Hands on the footy was Abe Sheen. Under pressure here will be the Borough. Sheen tries to track it. Good strong tackle. Will the ball spill free? It does, in the direction of Simpson, and it's now juggling around. He got rid of it, then got it back again, and then went wide to Gill. Gill, his kick was smothered. It was ineffective. Also, the big ruckman getting involved again will be Simpson. Umpire let it go. Hurried kick out of the pack by Frost of the Borough.
Here he is, man on a mission is Cooper Jones. Kicks inside the forward 50. He was looking for Sheehan, but Madden was best positioned all the way for the Hawks to intercept. Picks it off with ease and chips short to Angove. Experienced defender, premiership player with Locking to Bourne United. Comes short to Holmes. Inside the defensive 50, the Hawks. They trail by 5. 26 and a half gone opening turn. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Norm Jenkin with you on your Saturday afternoon. Long kick up toward Richards on the wing for Eaglehawk. Through his hands. Ben Thompson, fair feet. Does the roving, kicks the handball out. Palacoon was trying to apply pressure from the bench then. That was rather clever. The Storm numbers prevail. Clossy to Ratcliffe at half-back. Whips his kick across the defensive 50. Broken up by Ilesley for the Hawks. He has to backtrack toward the centre square. Then his handball went missing. Looking for O'Brien. Gets back in there. Wins it back. Frost outlet handball releases the run of Sam Thompson.
Sam Thompson now. He'll go wide. It was a poor kick. It'll bounce to the back of the pack. Neves is vaguely in the area, but it was all with the Storm. Ben Lester manages to defensively put it over the boundary line. 70 out from goal, that Eaglehawk attack. Umpire to ball it in now. Up they'll go in the ruck. It'll be Frost again, front position. He seems to always try to go for that position, but Simpson did well, tied it up. And again, we'll have a stoppage. On the outer side, just beyond 50, Eaglehawk attack. It's a punch forward, inside forward 50. Went in the direction of Neves. Gordon emerges with it now for the Storm. Swings it wide towards the boundary line. Good fist. He got caught behind Shishka of the Storm and puts it over the boundary line. It'll be a ball in.
Fresh Bendigo score update around the grounds. Gisborne with the first 2 on Maryborough down at Gardner Reserve. South Bendigo by 13 points over Kangaroo Flat early stages. And Castlemaine by a goal over Golden Square. Here at Tannery Lane, it's the Storm 2-2, Eaglehawk 1-3, closing in on quarter time. At the stoppage, just trying to hack his way through there was Blanford. Couldn't free himself from the tackle. Have another ball up. Braden Frost knocks it out, taken by Harvey. Handball off to Shannon Geary, intelligent kick, low down, taken by Blanford, kicks inside forward 50. Couple of targets that he was aiming for, James and Sue, neither could take it. Sam Thompson's handball over his head, back into traffic. Now Kuma tries to shred a couple of tackles. Look at him just operate outside the defensive 50. Couple of side steps, frees the arms, gets the handball away. Not running too far in the end was O'Brien. His kick was dropped into the bucket perfectly for Richards. Out at right half forward, siren sounds. And Charles Dole will have to be very, very careful. The umpire hadn't called him to stand.
Well, that's true, yeah.
So the umpire hadn't called him to stand before he stopped standing. And Darcy Richards will unload a tube from 60 out. and puts it out of bounds on the full in the right forward pocket. So the Hawks dominated the early stages in that opening term. It took Strathfieldsaye 16 minutes to get on the board. They then kicked 2 goals in quick time, and at quarter time it's the Storm who lead by 5 points. Strathfieldsaye 2-2-14, Eaglehawk 1-3-9. It is round 3 in Bendigo footy, and it lives at Fresh Bendigo. Quarter time at Tannery Lane, round 3 in Bendigo football. It lives at Fresh Bendigo thanks to our sponsors, Parsons Towing, Castlemaine, Bendigo City Framers, JB Restumping, Jason Westcott Builder, and matchday sponsor Bendigo Truck Centre. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Norm Jenkin with you. Quarter time, it is Strathfieldsaye 2-2-14, leading Eaglehawk 1-3-9. The Borough kicked the first goal of that term. They dominated play. They kicked their 1-2-8 within 8 minutes. The Storm then got on a bit of a run, opened up a 6-point break. Eaglehawk taking 18 minutes between their second and third behinds. And they didn't add to their score after that. They trailed by 5 points at quarter time. Goal kickers in the opening term. Abe Sheehan kicked the opening goal with a toe poke on the line. James Shiska kicked one from a long way further than that. Both resulted in conferences. Both resulted in 4 points to the Storm. And to the Hawks, it was Bailey Isley who had a real purple patch in the opening stages of that quarter, who kicked their first goal, had another shot and missed. And then they had a certain goal from a free kick ruled out as well, Eaglehawk in that, Strathfieldsaye in that period. So, good amount of case, they should be further in front. Who did you like in that opening term for Eaglehawk, Johnny?
Oh, well, you did mention that it was Isley that provided the target up forward, and we saw it in that opening round. He was really good, so good young player. Kuma continuing on his good form from round one as well. I like the way he got involved. Evans early in that quarter was good. I like Brady Rouse. He was getting a fair bit of the football. And also at times both Thompson boys getting involved. I like the way they go about it. And it's a good contest in the ruck, but I sense that Braden Frost, a little bit bigger and a little bit more experienced, has just got the upper hand at the moment, but important.
Storm, Normie?
Shannon Geary, as usual, up to his usual best, playing down back, but was in the forward line numerous times that quarter, running forward and leaving his opponent. Charlie Dole had an excellent start to that quarter, held Eaglehawk out on numerous occasions. Through the midfield, Jones, Harvey, Clossy and Featherby all had plenty of the football and have been the instigators behind getting the ball forward for the Strath in the first quarter.
They faced the music early, Strathfieldsaye, and they were equal to the challenge. Now it's a matter of what can Eaglehawk muster. There's no great advantage in terms of a breeze out here today. It's dead still. There's hardly a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day for footy. Couldn't ask for better. And it is Strathfieldsaye with a 5-point lead as we enter the second term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo, and immediately Matt Harvey gets the opening clearance of this second quarter. Gordon gets a free kick, and then he got collected by Billy Evans, who's going to have to give him about 10 metres on the mark. And Gordon plays on, jabs the kick inside the forward 50. Langford easily gobbles that one up, sliding in, takes it down low. Such an important defender, can play tall and small for this Hawks team. Outlets to Rouse, who's been busy in that opening term. Brady Rouse kicks down the line, and a good position was made by Richards, but he got rid of Dole a little bit too fiercely, and he's given away a free on the wing.
Dole's been good as well. He'll go backwards. Spots up Clossy for the Storm. He's on right half back. He's directing traffic. Now he's spread it to the outer side wing. Kicked it to a 2-on-1, and Isley won it for the Borough now, and he sends it inside forward 50. Running onto it will be Neves. Neves goes around the corner on the left, and it was probably a fortunate kick into the path of Mullen. Not sure he meant it there, Norm, but Joel Mullen will line up directly in front.
Yes, it was good work by Mullen then. He's been playing through the midfield. He drifted forward, and Johnny Neve got the ball to boot and got it round the corner. And right position, right time, and he took full advantage. He now has to hit the scoreboard to full attempt.
To the Sheepwash Creek end. Here, the Borough. Can he put it on the board? And Mullen does for the opener of the second term. So they take the lead back. It's a 1-point margin. It is a 2-3-15 to 2-2-14. And we've gone a couple of minutes in this second term. Score sponsor, JB Restumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
And interesting to note in that lead-up that it was Eaglehawk who were using the short pass and possession game to perfection. They took the ball from one side of the ground to the other and then were able to take it down the flank.
Fresh Bendigo score update just into the second quarter down at Gardner Reserve, and Gisborne lead Maryborough by 68 points. They kicked 11 goals 9 to 1 goal 1. In that game. So the Dogs, as they did early in last season, are having their way with Maryborough early on at home. Free kick across half court here for the Storm. This one looks like it's going to go the way of Gill. Gill from 52 metres out sends it to the pocket out over the outstretched arms of Sam Thompson, through for a minor score, which ties us up at 2-3-15 apiece. These two teams. Other scores around Bendigo footy. South Bendigo have kicked 8 straight to lead Kangaroo Flat by 12 points. And quarter time at Castlemaine, it is the Magpies 2-4 leading Golden Square 1-3.
The ball's back up on the wing from the kick in from full back. They didn't muck around the Borough. They'll win it through Neves. His handball is smothered. They got numbers. Frost. Old 1-2. Evans getting involved as well. Short pass hits Mullins. Only barely the required distance. On the wing. Oh, he's got a player all by himself. It's Frost on the half forward. He handballs it to a running Evans. Evans will go goalward, but right in the goal square. Big long hands, big long arms. It was Isley. Takes a clunker, round the body, plays on and bangs it through. The Borough get another. They extend the lead. It's now, well, 3:21 to 3:15. The Borough looking good in these opening minutes of this second term. Score sponsor, JB Re-Stumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, good work by Bryce Frost then. He was the one that got the ball out from in the pack in the first place. Got it on to Mullins. Mullins got it out to Evans. And Frost just walked forward, found the hole. They found him, a lovely handball on. And a great mark by Isley, who got in front. And when a man of that size gets in front against a smaller opponent, very hard to beat.
Here comes the first multiple goal kicker of the day. It is Bailey Isley back in the middle. Braden Frost with the hit out. Harvey on the end of it. Clearing kick smothered by Evans. Bryce Frost a toe poke wide. Rouse shreds the tackle of Harvey. Outside of the boot, bounces up towards half forward. Richards attacks it with some vigour. And then it was dragged in underneath the pack at left half forward. The ball is dragged to a stop. John Mullen not able to collect it cleanly. And Scott Bennett will toss it aloft. Frost goes up against Simpson. Eaglehawk ruck had the better of it. Rode well by Ben Thompson. Around the body inside the forward 50. Almost spilt to Bryce Frost. Ronchieri has a play at it. Flicks it out wide. Standing start. McGregor shot on goal. Almost trapped in a defensive goal square. Pressure's on that Storm defence now. Featherby did well in the end. Kept a cool head. Got it out to Jones. His handball flared wide. Couple of options out there. One of them was Shannon Geary over the top to Jackson Lay. And now they build down that outer side, the hosts.
They've worked it out nicely, haven't they, here, the Storm, on the outer side wing. It'll be a long ball in to half forward. A mark's been taken by Gordon. Gordon now. Half forward. It's a long kick. It'll go into the hot spot. It spills to the back of the pack. Sam Thompson overran the footy. Shishka picked it off and then put it through for his second. Just sat there nicely for Shishka. He said, thank you very much, and I'll whack it through. And we even up the scores again. 3-3-21 apiece. Score sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, it was good work up the outer wing by the Strath boys then. A couple of lovely pinpoint short passes, 2 handballs. Finally got it into Malik Gordon, who, nice long kick in, put pressure on the Eaglehawk defence. The ball was allowed to bounce, and it bounced Shishka's way, and he was able to run into an open goal.
Good game so far, Normie.
It has been an excellent game, especially the start of this second quarter.
Wouldn't mind this continuing. It's been a little bit cleaner this second term. Evans with a clean clearance out of the middle for the Hawks. Drives it to full forward, but a good intercept mark is taken by Dole, who's been impressive for Strathfieldsaye. Comes out to half back and finds King. King comes over the top to Gill. He had Braden Frost run interference. Umpire said he got there in time. Picked up by Clossy for the Storm up toward half forward. Holmes picks that off. He turns and wants to go immediately. He whacks an absolute sack of a thing back toward half forward. And Jones picks that off easily for Strathfieldsaye.
Racking up the possessions again is Jones. He'll go wide. That was okay to Featherby. Featherby short pass. I'll work it off half back. In fact, I won't. Ratcliffe coughed it up for the Storm. It will be a turnover, which results in a stoppage. Neves on top of the pack and traps it in. And on half forward for Eaglehawk, will have another ball up. Up they'll go in the ruck again. Frost, all tied up. He tapped it to his feet and they dived in on the top of it. Leicester doing the ruck work on that occasion. We'll do all it again. Another stoppage. Leicester against Frost. Leicester actually won it for the Storm. In the path of Malik Gordon. Probably held without the footy. Umpire let it go. Receiving a handball to the back door was Billy Evans of the Borough. It's now another turnover. No, not doing well on that occasion. Getting involved there would be Dole for the Storm. Contested ball still on the outer side. 1 too high. It's going to be a Borough free kick. They'll have a shot at goal. Hard up against the boundary line. It might be Joel Mullen that's got another shot at goal. He's pretty tight angle, but he's certainly got the leg from where he is.
Yes, he did well then. He got onto that loose ball, which looked as though it was going Strath's way, and they were forced to tackle and just got him too high.
It was there, Norm. Probably threw his head back a little just to let the umpire know. It'll be a good kick from here if he slots it. He likes it! Wow, straight off the boot. He started celebrating for his second, so it's now a 6-point margin. So it's seesawing battle. 21 playing 27. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers. The local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, it's interesting. Whoever gets first break out of the centre in this quarter has been able to make the most of it and put score on the board. Once again, it was Frost down to Evans, got the ball out, got it into Eaglehawk's forward line. They were able to hold it there, and in the end, Mullins got the shot at goal.
Willie Evans has played a hell of a quarter and a bit. He's been prolific so far.
Here he goes again.
Here he is again on the end of it, and they have three that bring him to a stop. He's showing some of his best so far is Evans. Frost this time for Eaglehawk, wins it down. Play at it there from Riley Wilson for the Storm, who will get the clearance. Gill was dumped after he got rid of it, so the free kick will go downfield. Sue's got it at left half forward. Rolls on immediately, ran into Holmes, got the handball away, but it was taken by Ben Thompson for the Hawks. High kick up the middle of the ground. He got knocked down after he kicked it, so another free kick downfield. This one will go to Neves, 70 from home, on the left boot, puts it to the pocket. Clever kick to space, Osley couldn't mark. Will he get the free or will it be a Storm free? Yeah, it will be, so they get out of trouble on that occasion. Featherby chips it to the back pocket for Jones. Yeah, the whistle's been running hot in the last couple of minutes. Jones can go outside that defensive 50.
Yeah, it's under pressure here, the Storm, aren't they? Eaglehawk started well in this second term. They'll horseshoe it out now through Geary. Geary will go long and high and find Dole. He's got a few possessions under his belt as well, but it's going to be a turnover. It was a poor kick. He's kicked it straight to Langford. Langford now plays on from the wing for the Borough. He'll send it to the hot spot. They'll set themselves. Isley will be the target. Front and centre. Plays allowed to go on. Contested footy. It's a nervous ball. It's still contested. Lester picks it up for the Storm. Will feed it to a teammate. Then over the top. Getting involved was Wilson. Also it's Mal Quinney. They'll run it through the middle. Long ball inside forward 50. Big build up it was. And he found Harvey. Harvey now, short pass. He's got a player leading and he's hit it up and he'll have another shot at goal here, the Storm. Really positive bit of play. It's Sue with the footy and 45-degree angle will get a decent look at this ball.
Yes, another lovely use of handball by Strath to get themselves firstly out of trouble and then in the open to be able to pinpoint a lovely pass to Harvey.
Sue stands on just beyond now, took a step back. On the chalk mark at 50. 45-degree angle. We're looking straight over his right shoulder. We'll see how he drops it. Drops it poorly and it goes right. Lucky to score. In fact, I reckon that was out of bounds on the full, but the umpire must have felt sorry for him and just inched him with a minor score. 3-4-22 Storm. Eaglehawk 4-3-27. 12 gone. Second term, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Wouldn't have anything to do with the fact that you're in a truck on the wing and the umpire was under the footy, would it?
Well, I reckon it might have had something to do with it, Joel.
So another chance going beating for the Storm. They'll get an immediate opportunity though. It's sent back inside the forward 50. Lanford running onto it inside the pocket. Holmes was good enough to pick it up for the Hawks defence. Bolger's clearing kick, batted down by Gill. He tried to run through the tackle, got dragged down. Storm fans want the free kick, they won't get it. Gill is infuriated as he gets up and appeals his case with the umpire. Meanwhile, Kuma drives it off half back for the Hawks. Mark taken by Richards, attacking side of the wing. He rolls around onto his right boot, sends a long high footy inside the forward 50. Evans was up, couldn't mark. Gordon's gone back for the Storm. He can clear the defensive 50.
Exciting here to play. It went Angove, turnover again. Angove of the Borough will send it back inside forward 50. Evans got a heap of it. Then he was had the composure to grab the footy and go goalward and bounces it into the post and just showed his class there, Evans, albeit he didn't kick it. So it's back to one goal straight. 4-4 playing 3-4. 13 gone. Second term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, we need to take a breath here. There's going to be a lot of tired boys if the ball keeps going ping-pong like this, end to end.
A lot of tired commentators. Don't worry about the players, Norm. Margin's over 100 points down at Gardner Reserve. Halfway through the second term. 17-7 to 1 goal 2. Gisborne over Maryborough. So that's going to be a troublesome afternoon down there. Here's Charles Dole for the Storm. Kicks up the line. With a fly, Reinheimer coming over the top of Braden Frost. Couldn't knock the football loose. Bennett Flicks it out to Kuma. Look back for a kick. Pinpoint to Richards, and where only he could access it. Richards inside the forward 50. Evans coming out of the cage. He can't come up with the footy and meet it. It was taken away by Clossy inside defence for the Storm. Handball over the top to Jones. Jones now on to Featherby. Neat kick outside the defensive 50. That'll be a free.
Chopping the arms.
So Charlie King's got it at left half back for Strathfieldsaye. 4 for the Hawks, 3 for the Storm. 14 minutes gone, second term. Much better standard second quarter. It's been really good footy here at Tannery Lane.
Short pass, Clossy receives. Short pass forward, James receives of the Storm. Now they'll swing it to the wing. Target will be Malik Gordon. Got caught behind. Might have gave Richards one too high. He looks a bit sore for himself there, Richards, as Gordon picks it up. It was a nice bit of sweeping ball, and he gives it to Sue. It was a short pass forward, and he marked it on 50 directly in front.
Yes, and in that last passage of play there also, Charlie Dole sent Kuma to the ground.
Sue gave it to Clossy, who ran from a long way back and then sent it wide into the pocket off hands, and we'll have a ball in 20 around from goal. Good build up again. But I'll tell you one thing, it's a lot slicker Eaglehawk than what we saw in round one, isn't it?
The Storm playing their way out here as well. Hungenty's one straight kicked away at the Hawks. Halfway gone in this second term. Clossy attacked the footy with some pace. Kick was smothered by Ben Thompson. Jammed out of there by Sam Thompson. To O'Shannessy for the Hawks at half-back. Looping handball to Wango. Look at Clossy just barrel his way through a couple of bodies. Picked up by James. Handball to Wilson. Stepped across the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in near the junction of the 50 in the boundary at right half forward for the Strathfieldsaye Storm. Kicking to the Tannery Lane end here in this second term. 4-4 plays 3-4. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Norm Jenkins with you. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Sam Thompson with the stoppage clearance. Handed it up to Bennett. He couldn't come away with it for the Hawks. We'll do it all again. Still 55 out from the Storm goal.
Umpire doesn't muck around. He puts it up into the air. Contested footy, ground level. Storm in attack, marginally into the 50. Another stoppage. Umpire blows his whistle, crosses his arm and said, let's do it all again. Give it to me. Simpson for the Storm. It's a big afternoon against Frost. Ball is bubbling around right on 50. Storm in attack. We'll have another ball up. 6-point margin, Eaglehawk lead. We've gone 16 minutes in the second. Footy fresh.
He's a real arm wrestle at the moment. Gill from the stoppage, kicks to full forward. Madden sprawls out. Shishka kept his feet, picks it up. Centering kick, really intelligent stuff. Finds Sheehan. And Abe Sheehan's marked it 30 metres out, as good as directly in front. That was brilliantly played by James Shishka.
Yes, it was. Madden, the defender, in that situation, you've got to keep your feet. You can't go to ground and give the forward the easy opportunity, which he did.
And so Abe Sheehan, who kicked the first goal of the game for the Strathfieldsaye Storm, looking for his 5th on the young season. Right foot, set shot, no. Misses to the right-hand side and should have done better with that. 3-5-23 to Eaglehawk 4-4-28. 17 gone, second term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo thanks to score sponsor JB Restumping.
Yes, it's been 1-3 to 3-1 this quarter. Eaglehawk have hit the scoreboard with in the positive way. Strath not quite as positive.
Langford plays on. Langford plays on from Eaglehawk from fullback. I'll give you $1 every time I do that from now on, Joel. As the ball is in the defensive zone for the Borough, they'll send it wide. Good mark, Isley hands it off to Evans. Evans, he's running around in circles, had nowhere to go. He had no one forward of the ball. Mullen received the handball. He'll send it long, and marking is Ronchieri. Goes now. It's an up and under kick. It's a little bit awkward, but jumping high, it was Thompson. Thompson now inside forward 50. Has he got a target? He has. Running onto the footy was Evans, and he's been busy this afternoon, and he's only getting busier as he'll line them up for another one at goal.
Yeah, it's probably the best game of football I've seen Billy Evans play for a couple of years, and he's been doing everything, running, handballing, shepherding, giving his teammates every opportunity, and now they've given him a chance to put a big one on the board.
To the Sheepwash Creek end. Billy Evans gets underneath it, sprays it, minor score. Both sides missing opportunities here this afternoon. We stay Mayru. 5-point margin. Eaglehawk, 6 points in fact. Eaglehawk lead, 18 minutes gone. Second term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
He's lived at that. Of course, the Hawks kicked the first 2 goals of this second term, and we've just traded between sort of 5 and 6 points since then. Long kick outside the defensive 50 from Shannon Geary is clattered across the line by Clayton Holmes, and we'll have a throw in between the wing and left half forward for the Hawks.
Yes, Holmes ran from the centre square there almost to the boundary on the forward flank for Strath just to knock that ball out of bounds.
Fresh Bendigo score update. Castlemaine by 13 points over Golden Square, South by 7 over Kangaroo Flat, and Gisborne by 120 over Maryborough, and we're not at half-time in any of those games as yet. Ball on the deck at the stoppage. Gee, Ronchieri nearly copped one right in the beak for off the boot of Angove. He was able to do sort of matrix style to avoid the kick. And it came into the centre of the ground for the Storm through King. Now to Blandford. Blandford up toward half forward. Nicely plucked out of the air by Sheehan. Turns immediately right foot kick. High footy to full forward. Gordon's there. Pulls it in. Malik Gordon read it nicely in front of the pack. And he's taken the mark 30 out directly in front.
Yes, he took his Eaglehawk opponent under the ball, then was able to back nicely and take a good mark.
So Malik Gordon hasn't kicked one as yet, had a chance in that opening term and couldn't convert. Let's see what he can do with this. He starts his approach from 51 metres out and he'll have to kick from about 40. Very slow and deliberate setup. Really promising young player, and he loved that as soon as he let it go. He strikes it and likes it and ties things up at 40 or 4 goals 5 apiece. 29 points, Eaglehawk and Strathfieldsaye cannot be split. 20 minutes played here in this second term. Really good footy, game of footy evolving at Tannery Lane. It lives at Fresh Bendigo, and it's thanks to score sponsor Parsons Towing Castlemaine.
Yes, it's been an excellent start to this second quarter. Both sides have been able to move the ball quick, but defences have put pressure on. There's been a lot of turnovers, and it's been a matter of who can make the most of their turnovers.
Really enjoyable game of footy. I talked down round 1 with Eaglehawk, but I'm talking this one up. Out of the middle, they'll win it. Eaglehawk again through Mullen, who's good. He gives it to Frost by foot. This is Bryce Frost. He goes inside forward 50 and he spots up Mullen, who ran on well for it. Mullen, short pass now. He's got a lead on. He's on it and he's hit up Jonty Neves. And Jonty Neves should, well, he's on a pretty tight angle, but the distance won't be a problem. Jonty Neves. Sheepwash Creek End. What a fine addition he is after having a spell from Eaglehawk, back for season 2024. Let's see what he does with this footy. It's a left footer. It's making the goal umpire work, but I reckon he's got it. He has. So he's hit the scoreboard now, Jonty Neves. So Eaglehawk take the lead. It's 5-5-35. They lead the Storm 4-5-29 as we approach red time in this second term. Score sponsor JB Re-Stumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, once again, first use out of the centre from the centre bounce. It was Eaglehawk that got it, and they were able to keep possession of the football with a couple of lovely pieces of play from Bryce Frost onto Mullins and then onto Jonty Neve, and put another one on the board.
So back in the middle, Braden Frost is there for the Hawks. It's taken away by his opposite ruck though in Simpson. Kick up toward half forward, gobbled up by Mulquinny. Holmes almost fell over trying to man the mark then, just to comply with the stand rule. Mulquinny, short kick. Footy is in the hands of Harvey. Launches it inside the forward 50. A run at this from Gordon, who's emerging as a presence inside the arc for the Storm. And Malik Gordon's latched onto another one. He's 40 from home on a 45-degree angle left of centre.
Yes, another good lead by Malik Gordon there. He left Oscar Madden behind, and Oscar Madden's got to get body on body in these contests.
So Malik Gordon again, a slow and deliberate approach, looking to tie the scores up after 23 minutes of play in this second term. For back-to-back goals for himself, for Strathfieldsaye, looking to squeeze that one in. He's done exactly that. Another assured set shot finish from the young forward. And the Storm answer straight back. We are trading goals here in this second term. And again we're tied at 5-5-35 apiece. 23 played, second quarter. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Score sponsor, JB Restumping.
And it's good to see that both sides are using their key forwards and putting the ball out in front, letting them run onto it, and then able to have easy set shots.
Back in the middle we go. Simpson wins the tap, but he tip-tapped it straight down to Evans of the Burrows. Probably been their best. Sends it to half forward. Tracking the footy nicely will be Thompson. Received a handball. A bit of a tap there by Frost. Puts it in the path of Evans. Evans got time and space. Puts it on the boot, but it goes wide towards the boundary line. Neves had his hands on the footy. And we're trying to get away with a shot at goal. It won't be. It'll be a ball in just metres around from goal. 35 apiece, all squared up. 24 minutes gone. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Boundary umpire will spin it back into play. Left forward pocket for the Hawks. Simpson reaches over the top of Frost, taken by Ben Thompson, tackled by Wilson. Ronchieri has a player to now Bryce Frost to Evans, left foot kick around the body, leading the race. The footy was Dole. He's been good for Strathfieldsaye. And he takes the mark 20 metres out from his defensive goal. Scores tied at 5-5 apiece. 25 minutes played here in this second term. And the Storm can possess it outside the defensive 50. Harvey's got it. Chips it over the top, finds Clossy, coming off a prolific cricket season, of course, with Strathdale Maristians, the Taylor Walsh medalist. Got it 45 out from his defensive goal.
Clossy just takes his time. Now he kicks it down the line. They'll set themselves. Big pack forms. Langford do well for the Borough. Hands on footy. Sam Thompson grabbed it cleverly. Gave it off nicely. Frost. He fumbled the footy. Causes a turnover. Ended up with Harvey of the Storm. He's looking for Shishka. Shishka caught out of position. Angove now mops up. He goes over to Borough for Thompson. Thompson, poor handball, went to his brother. Now it might be another turnover. They're diving in after the footy on the outer side. Stoppage. And just a couple of tight errors from both sides. 35 apiece. 26 minutes have almost gone in this second term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Scores tied out at Dow Park as well. Kangaroo Flat and South Bendigo, 55 apiece. Chance for Mulquinny. He bummed the handball up and then had to dive back on top of the footy. Inside the forward 50 for the Storm. Another stoppage. 26 minutes played. 5-5, 35. These two teams cannot be split. They met in a semi-final last season. They're both pushing for finals footy again this year. In the early stages of their 2024 campaign, Harvey's kick inside the forward 50, taken by Coomer on the bounce, and then Sheehan wrenched him into the turf and gave
over the
away
shoulder.
a free kick. Yep. And so it'll be Carla Coomer to take it inside the defensive 50 for the Hawks. Flares his kick out wide, looking for Angove, who just got there in the nick of time. Plucked it out of the sky, went for a gallop, sends it inside the forward 50. Ronchieri's in good position, brought it down to himself. Bryce Frost there as well. 45 out from the Hawks goal now. Clossy waiting for it to come out. It's not going to. And we'll have a ball up. Hawks transition it. And now they've got an opportunity inside their front half.
What a game we've got. I was going to say we've got the close one, but what's going on at Kangaroo Flat in South Bendigo? We've got a potential boil over as Evans, a little bit of a fresh airy. Wilson then picked it up for the Storm. Running side by side was Marchese. He goes long, but it's another turnover. Kicked it straight to Angove. Angove short pass. He gives it to Ben Thompson. Kicks it long inside forward 50. Oh, good grab. It was taken by O'Shanassy of Eaglehawk, and he'll line them up and needs to slot it just to take the lead back and go into half-time with the momentum.
And he'll kick after the siren.
Just a soft siren too at the 27.5 minute mark, so not a long quarter. This would be handy, right on half-time to the Sheepwash Creek end. The Borough, they've looked impressive up until half-time. So have the Storm. He runs and punches the air as he kicks a goal. And they get to him, the Borough, because they'll extend the lead. It's a one-goal straight margin. 6-5-41. Eaglehawk lead the Storm. 5-5-35 in an entertaining first half. Score sponsor, Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Oh, what a great quarter of footy it was after we had 3 goals combined in the first half. Eaglehawk kicked 5 goals, 2 in that second quarter. The Storm kicked 3 goals, 3. And as John said, it is the Hawks by 6 points as we go to the main break. 6-5-41 to the Storm, 5-5-35. 2 goals to Bailey Isley for the Hawks, 2 goals to Joel Mullen, singles to Neves, and that to O'Shannessy right on the halftime siren for the Storm. 2 to Shishka, 1 to Sheehan, and 2 goals in that term to Malik Gordon, who ran into some real form and looked like he was presenting up at the ball really well. Plenty for both coaches to think about, plenty for both coaches to like from that first half of footy. Norm Jenkin, how have you seen it?
It's been an excellent game of football. I think so far I just got Eaglehawk there ahead on the scoreboard, but also got them ahead on the ground because they've been able to stop the Storm attack and make it difficult for the Storm to get it into their forward line on most occasions. When Storm have been able to get it in, they've got it in nice and long, and I think that's the way they've got to go in the second half. They've got to look to put their heads down and look for the long option, be at the foot of the forwards, because if not, Eaglehawk at the other end starting to look very dangerous up there with O'Shannessy taking that lovely mark at the end. He stood back, he judged it nicely. When he's on and off the ground, Darcy Richards has been a focal point up there too, as has Johnny Neves when they've gone forward, and it's just looking as though Eaglehawk are going to have a little bit too much up forward in the end of this game if the Strath Storm don't use their heads and go for the long option instead of these short kicks into their forward line. Far too often it's being cut off, and you would almost think that Billy Evans and Braden Frost have been playing together for years, the way that they read each other in the ruckman to his rover. It's been excellent to watch, not only in the ruck contest, but when there's been marking contests or loose balls. Frost seems to be able to find Evans, and Evans is having a blinder of the game.
And that's where the improvement for me has come since round one, Norm, the game that we did see at famous Canterbury Park. Kuma, he was a little bit quieter in that second term, but he continued on his good form. But you're right with Billy Evans, he's just taken it to that next level, and the ability to keep his feet when he's under pressure, that's probably been a bit of a difference. Also, Joel Mullen as well, providing more so an unlikely target down forward, because Isley last week, or the week before, we seen him take a couple of clunkers down forward, and he was a bit quiet in that second term, but he's been offering that target as well. But to me, they just seem a lot sharper, they seem on their game, and completely different in comparison to what I saw a disorganised Borough side in round one. So really looking forward to seeing what they can bring to the table. A little bit of concern for Darcy Richards, spent a little bit of time here.
He had a long conversation with the physios, didn't he?
Well, I was watching him at one stage. He was actually coughing into a tissue and looking, well, I assume for what could only be blood. Yeah. But he didn't look distressed at all, but he was talking to the trainer and he was pointing to that sternum area where your chest is. But no need to be alarmed, I don't think, because he didn't seem, as I said, that he was any great distress, but certainly there was something of concern there. But I reckon they had 3 long conversations at various points on the boundary line here, but he looked like he wanted to go back on just before half time, so hopefully it won't be anything of any great concern.
He told Trav Matheson that he was right to go, so that might be a positive sign for Darcy Richards and Eaglehawk. A few scores from around the place before we go to a break here at half time. It is a 6-point lead to Eaglehawk, courtesy of a Sam O'Shannessy goal right on the half-time bell. Down at Gardner Reserve in Gisborne, and of course no reserves today for Maryborough, no A-grade netball and no contest in the seniors. Half-time, 23 goals 9, 147 Gisborne to Maryborough 139. So the margin at half-time is 138 points.
Don Bradman.
The way of Gisborne, absolutely. That is going to be a cricket score down there this afternoon, just like it was this time last year when Maryborough ventured to Gardner Reserve. South Bendigo lead Kangaroo Flat by 5 points at half-time at Dower Park. The Roos are 8-8-56. The Bloods are 10-1-61, so 16 scoring shots to 11. South Bendigo lead by 5 points, but Gee, had they not kicked straight, it could be Kangaroo if they didn't charge in that ball game. Down at Camp Reserve, it's a low-scoring game. It is Castlemaine 3-5-23 to Golden Square 2-7-19. That is at half-time. Goals to Hartley, Hickey and Chester for the Magpies, to Rosengren and to Burke for the Dogs. And here at half-time, it is Eaglehawk 6-5-41. They lead Strathfieldsaye 5-5-35. Second half is not too far away. It's round 3 in Bendigo footy, and it lives right here at Fresh Bendigo. It is half time here at Tannery Lane in Strathfieldsaye, and it is a great game of footy, a really entertaining second quarter. Eaglehawk 6-5-41 leads Strathfieldsaye 5-5-35 at the main change, courtesy of a Sam O'Shannessy goal right on the half-time siren. Joel Peterson, Norm Jenkins, John Hunter with you. Great to have you with us on 101.5 throughout Central Victoria, streaming online wherever you are right around the world, or if you're with us through the BFNL's Match of the Day stream via streamer. Great to have you with us this afternoon. We'll run you through a couple of the scores around the place in Bendigo footy as well. Goal kickers here to half-time. Joel Mullen's got 2, Bailey Ilesley got 2 for the Hawks. O'Shannessy and Neves have the others for the Storm. Malik Golden kicked 2. Both of them came in that term. James Shishka kicked 1 in the first, 1 in the second. And Abe Sheehan kicked 1 in the opening term. Who have you liked from the Storm's perspective in this first half, Norm?
Well, in the first half, especially the first quarter, died out a little bit in the second quarter, but Shannon Geary had an excellent first quarter. Also, Daniel Clossy, they've both been very good in the first half. Malik Gordon, especially in that second quarter, has given them an option up forward and been very lively. Abe Sheehan got his goal early, but has also had plenty of possessions up forward. George Simpson in the ruck got into it a little bit against Frost in that second quarter. Got a number of first uses, but it hasn't been a dominant performance by him. And Charlie Dole also has done very well out of defence. So, the Storm will be looking for more from those. They'll be looking for another good quarter from Harvey. Cooper Jones to get back into it, died out a little bit that quarter. Benny Lester's been very good down back and held a number of Eaglehawk attacks up. So a lot to like about the Storm side, but as I said, going into the break, they've got to look to kick the ball a bit longer and not try to possess it as much, because that's when they've lost the football during that first half.
Absolutely. We're here thanks to our sponsors, Parsons Towing, Castlemaine, Bendigo City Framers, JB Restumping and Jason Westcott Builder, and matchday sponsor Bendigo Truck Centre, who are looking after us superbly here this afternoon. Second half is underway. It is Eaglehawk 6-5-41 to the Strathfieldsaye Storm 5-5-35 as we go into it, and immediately it's Joel Mullen who roves it off the hand of Braden Frost and clears for the Hawks up toward half forward. Taken by Jones of the Storm. Handball back to Reinheimer, kicks up and down the line shaft toward the wing. Play on it from Gordon, spills to their feet. Shannon Geary burrows his way through, and he's ridden into the turf by Mullen. He's a marvel. Shannon Geary just continues to deliver, 4-time premiership player for this Strathfieldsaye Storm team. They've been so successful since entering the Bendigo Footy League in 2009 of the Storm. Just a model of consistency. We'll get another opportunity to go at it here. Ball on the wing. Simpson and Frost to go up in ruck. Simpson reaches up. Frost is there as well. Spilt to McGregor. He was tackled. Had a couple of Storms affronting him. And JD Jackson-Leigh takes the free kick at half-back for the Strathfieldsaye Storm. It's short and finds Sue, who had a couple of good presentations in that first half. He goes defensively to Gill. Gill comes now to Ratcliffe, who sends it wide. That is a beautiful kick. He found his teammate there. That was an awkward one for Featherby, who slipped through a tackle and might have just got clipped on the way through. So Ethan Featherby has got the footy. Left foot kick into the centre of the ground. Neatly measured for Shannon Geary, who takes the mark just in front of the centre circles. Loads up on the right boot, sends it inside the 50 towards Shishka. Can't take the mark. Coomer's there at their feet. Knocks it back towards Shishka. Evans squeezes the kick out of the immediate danger area. Gordon's there for the Storm, rides the bump of his former Pioneers teammate in Coomer, picked up by Gill, pokes it to the pocket for the Storm, back inside the 50. Evans for the Hawks, he has a play at it. King's there for the Storm. Braden Frost for the Hawks, handball outside the defensive 50. Gordon gets a hold of Coomer, rips him into the grass, and then wants to go on with it a little bit as well. They're having fun, those two. Over ball up at left half forward. Frenetic start to this third term.
Umpire throws it up they'll go up in the ruck. Frost wins the tap as well. Again, swooping on the footy. Clossy goes for the Storm. He'll send it wide. Lester running with a fly to the footy. Then he hands it off to Blanford. Blanford will spread it further wide to the pocket. Probably should have settled, I reckon, because Clayton Holmes did well. Got a punch in there for the Borough. Now the ball kicked long to half forward. Neves ran onto it. He'll have a bounce. He ran a long way. He'll run inside forward 50. How far is he going to run? Umpire lets him go. Go it, and it's a minor score. Jeez, I want to be buying real estate off that umpire, I tell you, as it's a minor one. We go to 5-5-35 to 6-6-42. 3 minutes gone. Third term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
It's almost the biggest lead the Hawks have had in the game. The margin for either side hasn't been any higher than 8 points so far in this contest. It's been played in really close confines, which has been good fun for us watching on, that's for sure. As the Storm bring it back into play, Clossy. He chips it short and wide. Ratcliffe. He didn't juggle that inside the field of play, according to the umpire. Lockie Ratcliffe, one of a handful of premiership players out there for the Storm. Matt Harvey, Lockie Gill. Ben Lester's played in a couple. Geary's played in 4 and Ratcliffe played in the 1 as well. All spun back in on the outer side. Clossy with the clearance to Blanford. Kicks down the line. That's a really nice delivery. And sliding in is Charlie King just in front of the scoreboard and only a pace inside the boundary line on the outer side.
Well, they overpossessed last time they were in the forward zone and coughed it up, the Storm. Let's see what they can do with this entry. Shishka is the target. Got one hand on it. Harvey roved the footy from that one hand, and a short pass, maybe a little bit fortunate, fell with Abe Sheen, but they'll take it. And on a pretty tight angle, hard up against the fence, will have a shot at goal. Abe Sheen will look to go around the corner, and he's kicked a goal. He knew it straight away as soon as he hit it for his second. So the Storm, they needed that one. Back to a 1 point margin now. It's 6-6-42 to 6-5-41. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Score sponsor, Parsons Towing in Castlemaine.
And for mine, that was a better entry into the forward 50 by Strath. Young Charlie King kicked the ball in long, put the ball on the head. Shishka was able to make a contest, get it to ground, and then that was an excellent goal by Abe Sheehan around the corner. Knew as soon as he hit it that it was a goal.
6 goals, 3 goal kickers for the Storm. They've all got 2, and 3 youngsters in Sheehan, Shishka and Gordon have got among the goal kickers. Goes up in the middle, and we'll do it all again. Thanks to Wayne Smith for his updates. It was Pyramid Hill by 11 points over Morong at quarter time in the Loddon Valley League. At half time, it's a 14-point lead to Morong, 8-6-54 to 6-4-40. So a good game out there at Malone Park. Across half forward here, the Storm. Seal got trapped, and he had nowhere to go with the footy. Grabbed by Kuma. And we'll have a free kick to the dashing Hawks defender. He's got it right on the paint of the defensive 50. Hawks by a point. Driving kick up the line. Reaching up with Simpson. Couldn't bring it in. Has a play at ground level for Strathfieldsaye. Tried to handball it free to Shannon Geary. Making his way to the contest was Clossy. Whips the handball wide. Pinched by Mullen of the Hawks. He drives it to half forward. Good kick. Finds Ilesley. 60 metres from home at left half forward for the Hawks. Rolls immediately. Darts the kick inside. Athletic take from Featherby. Really nice intercept. Comes across the defensive 50. Finds Mulquinny.
He'll play on quickly. You kick it forward and find Jones. Jones looking to bring it down the broadcast side. Jones, short pass forward. Will let it bounce. Sheen tried to collect it. Kept it in cleverly. Then he runs inboard. He centres the ball. An aggressive kick finds Harvey. Harvey smack bang in the middle. Now he'll go to half forward. He's got a lead on through Shishka. Shishka marks it in front of the eyes. Turns and wheels and goes and puts it in the path of Blanford. Blanford, a dinky, awful little kick over the top. I don't think it went the required distance, but umpire said yes, it did. Yes. What do I know about that? He'll play on quickly, will be Gill. Now long, high to the goal square, minor score. And that, what do we got here?
Square again.
Square again. 6-6-42 apiece. 7 minutes gone. Third term, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
3 behinds today for Lockie Gill. So he's been busy, just hasn't been able to find that major opening.
And thanks to Chris Bagley down at the Den, Harcourt 8-2-50 to Denali 4-7-31.
So the Hawks bring it back into play. He measured the pass nicely. Evans is onto it. Billy Evans it left half back. The captain kicks infield for Mullen. Mullen down the line. Neat user by foot most of the time. That's no exception. McGregor's got it for the Hawks. Pokes it over the top to Bennett. So just willing to build the footy up patiently here. Eaglehawk. Bryce Frost's got it. He's attacking side of the wing on the Strathfieldsaye Road side of the ground. Jabs his kick inside the forward 50. And Jones intercepts easily. Can play either end, Cooper Jones. He's plying his trade in defence this season for the Storm. In the long sleeve, navy and white hoops. Clossy across half back. Kicks to a 1-on-2. McQuitty had to go up. Holmes was there. Good aerialist. Brought it down to McGregor. McGregor's handball to O'Brien. He shares it back with Holmes. Low kick inside forward 50. Looking for O'Shaughnessy. Geary nudged him off the football. Clossy with it inside defensive 50 for the Storm. Handball to Dole. Dangerous kick across the defensive 50 to another 1-on-2. Socket off the ground by Blandford. Straight back into trouble. Picked up by Richards. 45 from home. Little one over the top to Mullen. They made such hard work of that, Strathfieldsaye, and they might pay for it. Joel Mullen's got a chance to kick his third. He's 10 in from the boundary line. He's 30 from home.
Yes, and both sides have made those mistakes this quarter, Joel. Eaglehawk, their build up to that situation had been good, then they lost it, and then Strath, they've lost it.
He's not a big goal kicker, Joel Mullen. He can go forward and hit the scoreboard when the opportunity presents. He's kicked 2 already today for his third. No. That one's across the face, in the words of Ron Rogers, and is a minor score. 6-7-43 to 6-6-42. 9 played, third term. Great game of footy here at Tannery Lane. Hope you're enjoying it on Fresh Bendigo.
Shannon Geary will bring it in for the Storm. He'll kick it in from fullback. Plays on. Runs his distance. Then sends it long and high to the outer side. Shishka was the target. He was at the back of the pack. In fact, it was Cooper Jones. Did very well. They'll move it through the middle now. Getting on the end of it was Wilson. Short pass inside forward 50. Sheen getting involved. Now it's going to be a turnover. Sam Thompson picks it up. Nervous handball over the top. Time and space. It was a long kick there by Holmes. Holmes of Eaglehawk puts it out to the outer side. Handball over the top. Jones received again, short pass, and he hits up Charles Dole.
So Dole's got it back edge of the centre square. Tried to measure the kick infield to Wilson, pinched by Holmes of the Hawks. Holmes inside the 50. O'Shaughnessy marks right on the chalk of the arc. What's he got inside the 50? Richards being held off the ball. Free kick. This is going to be a free kick, and I reckon it's going to be to Strathfieldsaye on the defensive 50 against Darcy Richards. So Richards was holding on to Dole in the goal square, and so the free kick will come to half back. Leicester gives it off to Shannon Geary, if you can make sense of all that, because Geary's now kicked it to Gordon and he's away.
He's away. It's a short pass. It's effective. He spotted up a teammate. That was okay. Doing well was much easy. A short pass. Good strong tackle by Kuma. Also and getting Bolger, but it's too high, a little bit over Ellis. Malik Gordon now plays on. He goes long and he goes high. They'll set themselves in the goal square. Frost. I reckon he's taken a screamer. The big ruckman did very well, and Braden Frost will relieve some pressure down there for the Borough.
It's a good defensive mark. Chip short to Langford. Do you reckon Malik Gordon's grown about 15 centimetres and put on about 10 kilos since we saw him last year? He just seems like a mass today.
Last week.
He's a big boy, and he just doesn't seem like he was the same size at the back end of last year. Now the Hawks come back the other way. Richards takes a good mark. Coming over the top of Dole. 75 from home for the Hawks. On the right foot, Richards high inside the 50. Owsley with a run. Almost dragged it in. Ratcliffe was onto him immediately. Thrown to ground is Bailey Owsley. Spills to the ground inside forward 50 for the Storm. Geary's just so clean with it. Outlets to Blandford. Comes off half back. Kicks looking for Sheen. Knocked it away from Bolger. Bolger first back to it. Draws supporting Mullen. 2-on-1 to the Hawks. Mullen goes between the legs. He nutmegged himself to pick it up. To James. To Mullen. Socketed out of bounds on the fall. Reflex catch from the Hawks bench, but it'll be a free kick to the Storm. Sheehan takes it and darts it infield.
I like him. He's a classy player, but he's put his teammates under pressure with his kick into the middle. Sweeping on it was Thompson. Probably got one too high. It's Ben Thompson. Umpire said no. I'm going to ball it up. So halfway between the centre and half forward. for Eaglehawk. Frost doing the ruck work against Leicester. The ball spills. Contested footy. Getting involved. McGregor for Eaglehawk. Picked up nicely. James of the Storm. Spreads it wide. Outer side wing. There's no one there. Madden by hand. To Evans. To the back door. Sharing it around nicely. Ends up with Holmes. Holmes defensive side of the centre circles. Here at Tannery Lane. He's got a player on. He'll honour it. O'Sullivan received. In fact, it was Bolger. He goes long. O'Sullivan was in the air and coughed it up and kicked it straight to Shannon Geary. Turnover, costly. And what do you got to do, Joel?
It's the one thing that's letting them down at the moment, the Hawks. They've got so much the footy, Norm. Their entries inside the 50 just leaving a bit to be desired.
Yes, they've got to start to do what I said Strath should do. They've got to put the ball up in the air and let their big men go for it again like they did in the second quarter.
Jones at half back. Chips it over the top to Harvey. Saunters off the flank with a bounce, kicks down the line. It's a lovely delivery as well. They built this up nicely. Mulqueen's got it for Strathfieldsaye. He chips it out wide. On the bounce to the overlap run of Harvey. Collects in stride, kicks to half forward. Gill marks 55 from home. He's got options across the forward 50. He whips the kick centrally and finds Blandford. Beautiful delivery. And Patrick Blandford running back toward goal. He's marked 40 from home, directly in front.
That was good gut running from Patrick Blandford then. He was in the centre square, saw the option and ran to space.
Hurts though, Norm, doesn't it? Classic.
Yeah.
2-goal turnaround, isn't it?
So the Hawks took the lead back early in the second quarter. Paddy Blandford's got a chance to pinch it back for the Storm. He jabs at it and leaves it right. And again, we are tied away at 43. 6-7 apiece, halfway through this third term. Terrific game of footy here at Tannery Lane. Terrific game at Dower Park too, Johnny. A fresh Bendigo score update. Kangaroo Flat leads South Bendigo 10-8 to 10-1.
Gee whiz, could we have an upset brewing over there? Is it too early to call a draw here, since it's close to Anzac Day, Joel? It's just got that feel about it.
Sam Thompson just looked at me and said, "You're an idiot, Johnny."
He said that to me many a time. Don't you worry about it, as the ball goes inside forward 50 now for the Borough. Neves collects. He's got Richards on. Pinpoints him. He should have played on and does. He almost stepped over the line, but just eased up and poked it through, which what seemed like a pretty easy goal compared to what they've been up against for the majority of this third term. So they take the lead.
I thought it was going to be a draw.
Well, it's still where well, it still could be. Just watch this spate. 7-7-49, 6-6 43 score. Sponsor JB Restumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo, and I might have the last laugh there, Norm.
You may well do there, John, but another good passage of play by Eaglehawk. As we said, they had to get the ball in long. They did that. 2 long kicks there, and Darcy Richards on the end of it in the goal square.
Sam Thompson, Johnny, Normie's just waiting to come back on. Johnny says it's going to be a draw, and he's whipped his head around in disbelief. He's going, "What are you talking about? It's halfway through the third quarter, for God's sake."
I've called it earlier, not early.
Here is Thompson. He's glad that he's back out on the ground. Kicks out toward Ronquier. He couldn't take it. That's a high tackle. He just clipped James a little bit high. In fact, it's Riley Wilson.
He's been quiet today.
Yeah, quite by his usual standards. He's been doing all the tough stuff, but hasn't seen a lot of the footy. He saw a bit of it early and maybe a little bit less prolific than we would see normally. This man's been just his usual self. Shannon Geary off a step, punches it inside the forward 50. Kuma came up to meet it. Roving it nicely was Marchese. Handball behind himself to Jackson Way. He couldn't keep it alive. Good tackle laid by Gordon and a ball up. Inside forward 50 for the Storm. Margins are kicked the way of Eaglehawk. We're 16 and a half through the third.
One straight goal, the difference. Ball is in dispute. It'll now emerge. Sheen, handball. He went to Jackson Lay. Couldn't quite get it. Now a hurried kick out there. Was a turnover for Eaglehawk into the middle. And it'll turn over back the other way through Dole. Geez, they're mucking around with it here in the middle. Turnovers afoot. Series of handballs. Ends up with Jackson Lay again. He got collared. Hurried kick. They set themselves across half forward. Clossy, a sweeping handball into space, running after with James. He looks slow and tired. Short pass, probably not the required deep distance. Ryan Harmer, he goes long. Oh, big jump from the back of the pack. It spills to the front. They'll share it around here, the Storm. Clossy getting involved. On the end of it is Gill. Goes goalward to the line. Off hands. Madden gets one there for the Borough and puts it through for a minor score. 6-8-44. 7-7-49 the Borough. 17.5 gone. Third term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
And what a lovely kick in from full back. It's found centre wing.
Yeah, just driven in. And immediately they're able to move it, the Hawks, and try and build something back the other way. O'Shannessy to Evans. The run of Bolger through left half forward. Darts it to the edge of the 50. Awkward one for Richards. Bounced off his shin. Numbers still there for the Hawks. Bolger's dragged off it. Free kick holding the ball. The Storm defence holds up. Mulquinny and Jake Moorhead's old number 10. Making it look pretty good, as it has for many a year at the moment. Kicks down the line, and the man who Norm and I hadn't spotted in a quarter and a half, Riley Wilson's had 2 kicks in 30 seconds. He's turned that one over. Clayton Holmes comes bursting back the other way with a bounce for the Hawks. Drops it inside the forward 50. Neves from a mile back. Didn't give away the free. Couldn't touch it in the fly. Dole's there for the Storm. Handball to Jones. Handball defensively to Featherby, and they run it out of half back.
He'll put it in the path of Shishka. Shishka runs onto it. Now goes central corridor. Clossy's been good this afternoon. He's got a player on in Sheen. He's clever. Let's see what he does on the boundary line. He gets collared. And it might be a ball in right in front of the trainer's box there.
I think it's going to be a ball up.
Couldn't I?
Going to be a ball up. Yeah.
Trying to look through a tin shed, Johnny.
That tin shed's going to be gone this week too, they tell me. It's the old interchange steward's shed.
Oh, actually, were you joking or not?
No.
No, I am.
No.
It's going to be good.
Oh, there you go.
They tried to get rid of it today for us because they knew it would be in the way, but it's going to be gone.
Back over it with the truck, then we'll be rough.
Right, let's get back to the footy. Shannon Geary spreads it wide to the outer side. It's Ratcliffe, now of the Storm. Poor kick. Turnover, Mullen swoops on it, handballs to the back door to Clayton Holmes, short pass forward, finds Mulquinny, he fumbled, under pressure, had time, hits up Evans in the middle, Evans now, sweeping wide handball, he's got a player on, oh good tackling Ratcliffe, Angove gets involved, throw. It is if the umpire says it is, and it is Norm, so it'll go to Ratcliffe, free kick. Is it going the other way?
No, it's going to Ratcliffe.
Yep. Ratcliffe of the Storm.
So Lockie Ratcliffe, he's got it. Defensive side of the centre. Jeez, it's been a really good game of footy since quarter time. It was pretty abject at times in that first quarter.
It was, but an excellent sense, and it's continuing down the same path.
It's burst into life, and it may not be the most high-scoring game of all time, but these two teams are trading blows. Off half-back, Gill. He's had a snack of it again today. Clossy's handballs missed the target, and the Hawks will pounce on the turnover. Neves got it, or looked to get it from Bennett, but Bennett's kick was overcooked. Jones shows them a cool pair of heels. Able to outlet to Harvey, who's got it at left half-back. In front of the interchange bench for the bench for Eaglehawk. 7-7 the Borough, 6-8 the Storm. Into time on in this third term. High kick up the line from Harvey. King sits under it, can't take the mark. And it'll be tossed back into play. Centre wing, broadcast side, 7-7 to 6-8. Round 3 in Bendigo footy. Serving up a treat here at Tannery Lane. And it's hard to see, Norm, which way this will unfold from here.
Yes, it's certainly an arm wrestle from both sides, but Eaglehawk seem to have the better of the football when it's going forward, but Strath's defence holding firm at present.
Free kick Bennett now for Eaglehawk on the wing broadcast side. Short pass, he's got Angove. Just marks it in front of the line for out of bounds on the full. Did he pay it? He's paid the mark, he blew the whistle.
I was going to say that sarcastic laugh and clap brought to you by Riley Wilson. We heard in our effects mic right in front of us. I think it is going to be a throw-in here in the end.
Well, the umpire might have blown
for the boundary umpire.
The boundary umpire gave it the all clear as a mark originally.
That's not his call, unfortunately.
No.
Let's reset.
Let's take a moment to do a Fresh Bendigo score update. We're at 200 points. Gisborne 34-10, 214 to Maryborough 139. We're only in the third quarter there. Kangaroo Flat lead South Bendigo by 14 and Golden Square lead Castlemaine by 2.
It'll be Eaglehawk now through O'Brien. into the middle in the path of Holmes. Holmes lets it bounce, then a little handball wider. He's got a player in support in Bolger. Bolger short pass to the outer side wing. She's there moving it nicely now, the Eaglehawk Borough. Sam Thompson on the end of a short pass. Short pass forward. Hits up his brother Ben Thompson. Slowing down the footy. It was a chest mark. Halfway between the centre and half forward. Now he goes in the pocket. Poor kick, turnover. Mark Ratcliffe of the Storm.
How many times have we seen that here in this term? Have built the footy up nicely and let themselves down with the delivery.
It should have been a deeper entry into the 50 then. Richards was waiting for it, not short.
It's kind of like the Postal Service, Norm. They wrap your package up, they put the stamp on it, then it gets sent to the wrong house.
Yes.
Sort of misses the whole point. Leicester. Here's Jones. He had 36 and 14 last week. He's on track for that again. Just on those the Premier Data stats as well. Lockie Gill last week had 43 disposals. He was one of a few Storm players who had in the vicinity of 40. 398 disposals last week for Strathfieldsaye. 130 odd marks. They just they use the ball so well when they're up and going. They do use plenty of it. Gill, short kick, looking for Sheehan, made him work for it. Hawks take over. McGregor, handball at left half forward. Bennett sets after it. Angove's there as well to provide support. So too Ronchieri. It spills out after the tackle. Now Angove's got to play it. He's 65 from home, jams it on the boot. Cut off. Poor Storm defence, dangerous kick inside the back 50. Ratcliffe's there, so too Clossy. Ratcliffe's handball bounces the wrong way for his teammate. Reinheimer gets back there for the Storm. Flicks it over his head in a bit of a panic. Jackson Leigh did well though. He outletted without any panic at all and found Mulquinny, who's at right half back.
A short pass forward looking for Harvey. Harvey got one under the ear from Angove of the Borough. It'll be cause a turnover. Evans, little handball back to Angove there, sharing it around, and now it'll be a long kick forward. Leicester underneath the ball. He was brave. Dish it off a handball. He found his teammate in Reinheimer as the siren sounds. Not a very loud siren out here at Tannery Lane, but we have got a close one on our hands here at three-quarter time. The Borough, they lead 7-7-49 to the Storm, 6-8-44.
It was only a short quarter too, just running the 24 minutes, so it didn't go for very long. Only the 2 goals kicked in it after we had 5 goals to Eaglehawk and 3 to the Strathfieldsaye Storm in the second term. Just the 2 goals combined in that third quarter. And we have absolutely got a game in our hands as we turn for home. Eaglehawk by 5 points heading into three-quarter time. 2 goals to Bailey Isley, 2 goals to Joel Mullen, singles to Neves, to Richards and to O'Shannessy for the Storm. There's 6 goals, all kicked in pairs. Abe Sheehan, James Shishka and Malik Gordon, each with 2. It was billed as what could be an absolute classic in round 3 of Bendigo footy. It is panning out that way. It's been a terrific game so far. Quarter to go at Tannery Lane. Eaglehawk 7-7, Storm 6-8, round 3 in Bendigo footy. It leaves us right here at Fresh Bendigo.
Returning for more live footy, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Footy Live.
Oh, we love local footy, especially on days like this. Three-quarter time here at Tannery Lane, and it is a 5-point lead to Eaglehawk. 7-7-49 to the Strathfieldsaye Storm, 6-8-44. It's only early in the season, but it's second versus third. These two teams with top four aspirations, and they are playing out an enthralling duel this afternoon. Eaglehawk by 5 as we turn for home. No one's got more than 2 goals in the game. The lead for either team has been no bigger than 8 points throughout. That was to Eaglehawk. They kicked the first 8 points of the game. They led by that at the 8-minute mark of the opening term. It's the biggest spread we have had in the contest so far. Joel Peterson, Norm Jenkins, John Hunter with you. Great to have your company on 101.5 and all throughout Central Victoria, wherever you're streaming us as well via the Community Plus and the TuneIn radio apps. We'll run you through the scores in Bendigo footy very shortly. Johnny for the Hawks, who's in their better players to three-quarter time and in contention for our Best On Ground award thanks to our sponsors Bendigo City Framers.
Wow, for a three-quarter performance, Billy Evans just has been superb this afternoon, and if they're going to win this game, he's going to have to do the same in the final term. But in that third term, I thought Bolger came into it a lot more as well. I'm really enjoying the game of some of the lesser lights, getting their hands on the footy. Bennett and Rouse and Ango, those types, and Bryce Frost, particularly in that first part of that third quarter, really good. But Clayton Holmes coming off half-back, getting important possessions, bouncing the footy and spotting up players down forward, and they're just going inside forward 50. He probably hasn't offended as much as some of the others, but that's probably the only thing letting them down.
He's been a valuable addition, that's for sure. Normie, the Storm to three-quarter time?
Yeah, they're better players. They're best player for me so far. He's had a three-quarter effort. Is Shannon Geary, Charlie Dole, Lockie Ratcliffe came into it in that third quarter. Cooper, Jones and Matt Harvey have also had plenty of the football through the midfield. And Abe Sheehan up forward has been very lively at ground level, roving the scraps left to him when the ball's been sent in high to the likes of Shiska and Gordon.
Pre-game you took Eaglehawk, are you sticking with it?
Yes.
Pre-game you took Strathfieldsaye, you're sticking with it?
Absolutely.
All right, I took the Borough and I'm happy to...
A draw.
Happy to stick with that. Around the grounds in Bendigo footy, three-quarter time scores around the place. Gisborne by, 213 points over Maryborough. Kangaroo Flat by 14 over South Bendigo, and Castlemaine are back in front at the Camp Reserve. They lead Golden Square by 5. Here, it is Eaglehawk by 5 over Strathfieldsaye. 7-7 to 6-8. The margin hasn't been any greater than 8 throughout the contest. It's been a great day of footy here at Tannery Lane. One more quarter to bring us home. Here's John Hunter on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Don't go anywhere. As an anti-climax to the start of this term, it's going to be a free kick awarded by the boundary umpire for an infringement. It goes to Frost. Handball to Evans. They'll go inside forward 50. Set themselves. Richards was the target. Mullen probably got collared. In fact, it wasn't Mullins, it was O'Sullivan, and a free kick will go to the Storm, and it'll go the way of Dole, who's been pretty good this afternoon.
Absolutely, he has. Made senior debut last year against Eaglehawk in round 5. Charles Dole. Good kick out wide, Jackson Lay. Finds King. One of the youngsters in this Storm side. Down the line looking for Harvey, who can't take in the mark. And it goes out of play. Charlie King from Wooreeneen. He's still eligible for the under-18s this season for Strathfieldsaye. So too is Jackson Lay. So this young sort of next-generation Storm team holding their own against the Hawks this afternoon. Ball spun back into play. Gill has a play at it. He wraps up Joel Mullen. It's been Gill and Mullen, or Clossy and Evans in the middle so far for their two respective teams. This time Gill, the clearing kick. Harvey on the end of it. He tried to toe poke it forward. Oh, Shishka, lightning hands to Blandford, who couldn't steady on the finish. Left it away to the right. And a minor score. The rapid fire fingers of James Shishka with the handball over his head. Margin back to 4 points to start this final term. We're a minute and a half in.
And down at the Den, it's Harcourt 9-6-62. Denali 5-9-39 in the MCDFNL.
Clayton Holmes will kick it in for the Borough. Plays on from fullback. Runs his full measure. Then short pass hard up against the line, which was neat. Spots up a teammate. But just slowing it down a little bit was O'Sullivan. Short pass forward. Spots up Ben Thompson. Ben Thompson out of side. Defensive 50. Hard up against the fence. Short pass to Mullen. Made him work. He had to jump over the top of Glossy. Causes a turnover. Picked up there by James. James, a long, high ball. They'll set themselves. Madden dropped a mark he should have taken for the Borough. Whistle on play.
Too high.
Too high.
Grabbed Eddie Gordon. Just the old horse collar tackle. Kicked up toward half forward. Langford. Handball forward. Rouse takes it for the Hawks. Grabbed by Gordon. He's in trouble. He's gone. Holding the ball, free kick, another one for Malik Gordon. At left half forward, 70 from home. He stabs the kick into the pocket. Who's he got on the end of it? Shishka with a plan. It couldn't collect it. Hawks in defensive 50. Langford, Ben Thompson just barrels it outside the defensive 50. Up toward Braden Frost. It'll come back in. Simpson, his handball to McGregor. In fact, it's wrong. Chieri threw it. Wasn't a handball at all. And Frost will take the free kick from the centre for the Hawks.
It was a right call. He kicks it to a contest. Spills to the front of the back. It'll be a turnover now. Ends up with Gill. Received a handball of the Storm. He's got Harvey on. Harvey too far out to score. A good 2 kicks. Short pass forward. Hits up Shishka on the chest. And Shishka is close enough if he's good enough. Shishka now. He wheels. He doesn't go for goal. He looks for Riley Wilson. Keeps his feet. Used his body. Or just bounced cruelly. Then he picked it up. It went back into his bread basket. Gave it to Harvey who slammed it through. Oh, they got there somewhere in the end. A couple of little errors that ended up fortunate. Didn't matter as they take the lead. The Storm, they go to 7-9-51 leading 7-7-49. Opening stages of this final term. Score sponsor JB Re-Stumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
But once again, as I've been saying since half time for Strath, the long kick in, benefit from it, get the ball to ground and then let the small fellas go to work, and that's benefited them there. It was a lovely long kick in by Harvey, and he ended up coming back and getting the goal from a handball.
So third lead change of the game. First time the Storm have had the advantage here in the second half. We were tied 4 times in the second quarter. And now it is Strathfieldsaye back ahead by 2. Terrific game of footy here at Tannery Lane. Hope you're enjoying it on Bendigo's Fresh FM. Bounces off the head of Braden Frost in the ruck. Free kick is paid and it will go the way of the Hawks, who kick to the Sheepwash Creek end here in this final turn, the left of your radio dial. Ben Thompson loads up, sends it inside the forward 50. Fly coming over the top from Richards. Couldn't take it. Dole had it and lost it for the Storm inside the defensive 50. Richards on the paint of the arc now. Slips the tackle. Kick away. High footy into the pocket. Harvey working hard as a two-way runner. Takes the mark. Sprawling in the back pocket for the Storm. Chips it into the pocket. Awkward one for Jones. Made him work for it. Handball back to Harvey. Now back to Ratcliffe. Off a step around the body. Richards knocks it away. Good defensive work inside the forward 50 for the Hawks. And we'll get a stoppage at the junction of the 50 in the boundary. Right half forward. Hawks into attack. They trail by 2.
Yes, it's drilled into Strath that you've got to go short coming out of defence. They had 2 players clear on the back flank if they'd have gone long.
It'll be Isley into the ruck now for the Borough. It'll be the Storm, though, that clear from half-back. Now a bouncing ball, Sheen collected. He handball it, another turnover. Kuma picks it up there for the Borough. He'll send it inside forward 50. Neve's got hands on the football. Then he was good enough in a hurry kick around the body. He collected the ball somehow. Put it wide. His target was Frost. Comes off hands. In fact, it might be out of bounds on the full. That is. And now it's a free kick. It ends up with Jones, and Jones will go long for the Storm.
Yeah, Jones stabs it outside. Oh, it's dropped on the outer side there by his teammate. That might have been Featherby who put it down, and it goes over the line for a throw in between the wing and half forward. About 70 out from that Eaglehawk goal. They trail by 2 points. They kicked the first goal of the game, Eaglehawk. Storm led for the majority of that first term. The lead seesawed in the second quarter. It's been the Hawks who led by 6 at half-time, who've had the advantage throughout the second half until that first goal went the way of Harvey in the last quarter here for Strathfieldsaye to put them 2 points to the good. Hawks back inside the forward 50. Richards is on the end of it. He comes charging out of full forward and pulls in the mark. Right forward pocket. And Darcy Richards will shoot for his first of the game from 35 out.
Yes, good work by Richards then. He lost his defender and was able to take an easy chest mark from that long kick in from the half-forward flank.
Pardon me, Richards did kick one in that third term. So this for number 2 for Darcy Richards. And a hand, Eaglehawk back the lead. Tough kick from the right forward pocket. Right foot set shot from Richards. Never looked like missing. Darcy Richards kicks the goal for the Hawks and puts them back on top. 8-7-55, Storm 7-9-51, 8 gone, final term, ripper of a contest on Fresh Bendigo, thanks to score sponsor Bendigo City Framers.
Yes, both sides have been able to score in this quarter from the long kick in, and it's the way that they've got to go, because the ones that are, when they're fiddling around, they're losing it midfield, they're losing it on their half-forward line and giving the others an easy opportunity to go forward.
Simpson in the ruck, but it was Isley that won there for the two Blues. Emerging with the footy there will be Wilson. Wilson, a hurried kick, he got upended. Slews off the side of the boot. Good body work by Blanford. Blanford inside forward 50. Looks for Sheen. Good defensive punch by the Borough through O'Brien. Got his fist in there at the right time. Put it over the boundary line. 49 out from goal. The Storm are attacking. They trail by 4 behinds. We've gone 9 minutes in this final term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Good contingent of supporters watching on down there. Sun shining here at Tannery Lane. Great day for footy, and it's been a great game from the stoppage. Blanford, squaring kick. Shishka the target. Oh, it's spilled to Sheen. He throws it on the outside of the boot and bounces home, an absolute ripper. Lightning reflexes from Abe Sheehan, who took it, jammed it on the outside of his right boot in an instant. And just like that, the Storm are back in front. 2-point lead to Strathfieldsaye, 8-9-57, Hawks 8-7-55. 3 goals for Abe Sheehan. We're 9 through this final term.
Yes, lovely anticipation by Sheehan there. He was at the fall of the ball and, as you said, Joel, got hold of it, straight onto the boot, gave the opposition no chance to smother, and it bounced through.
Frost back in the middle now for the Borough. Up they go. Wins the tap. Picks it up then. On the left, he puts an awkward looking tube inside forward 50 for the Borough. Spills to the back of the pack to the hot spot. Need to be careful here, the Storm. They don't concede. They move it. It's a rolling pack. Still contested ball. Will it emerge? Hurried kick by Radcliffe. He picked it up for the Storm. Bouncing footy towards the boundary line. If it was in the AFL, they'd say that's insufficient intent, but nothing said, nothing done here, as it's almost on the wing. Broadcast side, 2-point margin, Storm lead.
Fresh Bendigo score update. Kangaroo Flat by 15 points over South Bendigo, and Castlemaine by 11 over Golden Square. 7-9 to 5-10. Both in the final quarter of those games. Harvey fumbled it out of play. Did it bounce off his leg? Umpire says no. Eaglehawk players are convinced it did. And the umpires say no, it did not. So a boundary throw in from right in front of us. Frost and Simpson. Braden Frost reaches up, knocks it down, only as far as Clossy. Ball's not coming away. And we'll have it thrown back in. Chauncey Neves getting set to come back into the action for the Hawks. Frost got rid of Simpson illegally.
Shepherd, oh no, I thought he was going to play a Shepherd.
Thought he was too there, but he's going to Simpson. So Simpson's got it. He's right on halfway for the Storm. They lead by 2 points. 11 gone, final term.
Aggressive kick. It was inboard to Jackson Lay. They've got the numbers. He follows up his own footy. Good strong pass and lead. It was a clunk. The Storm by big Malik Gordon, who's been super this afternoon. Come out like a steam train, has taken a mark, and he's cramping, Norm.
He's done a lot of work today, so it's quite feasible that he will be feeling a bit stiff in the legs.
That footy is lucky it's got any air left. He grabbed it so hard.
He needs to kick this for the Storm. He's directly in front. Right on 50 you'll kick it from. The man on the mark it's standing at about 35, in fact, so it's a fair run-up, so the distance won't be a problem here. Gordon for the Storm to extend the lead. It's long, it fades, minor score. They didn't like it off the boot. 3-point margin now. 11 and a half gone. Final term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So now it becomes who takes the opportunities presented. Who's good enough to stand up, seize the moment. Holmes in from fullback. Handball to Langford after he danced himself into some trouble. Langford drives it down the line. Richards and Frost both there. Out the back, Ronchieri onto it for the Hawks. Handball back to O'Shannessy. Can he keep it in? He cannot. Ball is over the line, out of play. It'll be tossed back in. Alakuna's in a little bit of trouble down in front of us. It's some cramp.
Yeah.
And so it's a tired old Hawks team coming off, of course, round one against Golden Square, then the week off, then they get confronted with the wide expanses here at Tannery Lane. Ball tossed back into play. Simpson worked himself to front spot. Frost is there for the Hawks, trying to rip it clear. Rouse, tackled by Geary. Ball up, centre wing, outer side, Storm by 3. 12 and a half gone here in the final quarter on Fresh Bendigo.
It's going to be important, the accuracy in these final minutes of this last term. Good, strong tackling. The Storm. Sue did well on Frost. Causes a stoppage. Outer side wing. Storm by 3 points. Still plenty of time. Frost wins it there for the two Blues. They'll emerge now. It'll be a long kick to half forward. They'll set themselves. Richards too strong. He was out of position and he's taken a good, strong mark. He's too far from home. Now he goes long. He goes high. It's into the pocket. Isley the target. Front and centre, O'Shannessy. They'll share it around. Isley received a handball. Put it goalward and missed. In fact, missed everything. And it's nothing on the scoreboard. Unchanged. 3-point margin. 13 and a half gone final term.
Fresh Bendigo score update. Kangaroo Flat lead South by 21 points.
Yes.
13-11 to 11-2. It has absolutely dried up for the Bloods, and the Roos are bounding away with that game at Dower Park. Storm coming out of halfback here. King out wide to Gill. He's provided plenty of run all day. 2 bounces, now 3. Pops it over the top to the run of King. Back to Gill. The captain goes inside the forward 50 and finds Blandford. Blandford centres it up to Shishka, and Shishka's marked it 35 out directly in front. What about the dash from Lockie Gill down the outer side?
Yes, great run by Gill then. He was well supported by 2 teammates running with him to keep all Eaglehawk opponents away.
And now it is James Shishka who's got the shot. Storm by 3 points before the kick. Biggest lead for either side of the game so far is 8. Shishka to make it 9, misses. Minor score. 8-11 plays 8-7. 14 and a half played final term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Score sponsor JB Restumping.
Could be a costly miss in the end, couldn't it? They just need to convert, capitalise. Langford plays on for the Borough. Sends it wide from fullback. Off hands. Tracks towards the boundary line. The Storm will keep it in here. No, they won't. Tracking against the boundary line was Featherby. Gave the umpire a little bit of a serve, the boundary. Said, no, that was in, and the boundary said, no, it wasn't, give it to me. Inside forward 50 now, again the Storm. Outer side, Isling in the ruck, got 2 hands on it, falls to the bottom of the pack. Leicester tries to burst through and can't. Good strong tackling, Borough. Bottom of the pack. The player was very good there, Thompson, as the umpire will throw it up again. Up they go in the ruck again. Isley still doing the ruck work. Ground level. It's going to be another stoppage. Inside forward 50 for the Storm. They lead by 4 points. Approaching 16 minutes last term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So up they go. Storm inside the forward 50, as Johnny said. Pushed past it was Gill. Stood up in the tackle. Got boot to ball. Will come back the other way. Thumping it out of there was O'Brien. Kick finds a teammate in McGregor. Just inside the defensive 50 for the Hawks, outer side of the ground. 8-11 to 8-7. 16 gone final turn. There's some urgency about things now for Eaglehawk. Sam Thompson kicks up the line. Holmes playing ahead of the footy now. Going down there was Jones. Ronchieri has a play at it. Bustling his way through was Bennett. Lays a good tackle. And a ball up. Centre wing out of side. 4-point lead to the Storm. 16 and a half gone. Final term here at Tannery Lane.
There's some tired players out there on the outer side. They're fumbling. No clean position. Hurried kick out of the pack by McGregor of the Borough. Sends it forward. Looks for Neves. Spills to the front of the pack. Swooping on the footy would be Ronchieri. And steps over the line. and 70 out from Eaglehawk's goal. We'll have a ball in.
Interesting that Evans is playing at a full forward at the moment. I sort of think you'd love to have him around the ball.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's got that pivotal point up forward.
The Storm by 4 points. Grabbed out of the air by Holmes doing the ruck work. Inside forward 50. Isley set himself. Fell to the back of the pack. Clearing kick by Featherby of the Storm.
Straight up and down the mine shaft to half back. Clayton Holmes has a play at it. Comes out the back to Riley Wilson. One go, then two. Couldn't take clean possession either time. O'Brien burrows himself. In fact, it's McGregor. Might have dived upon it. Umpire said no. Crosses the arms and we will have a ball up. Storm 8-11, Hawks 8-7, free kick here, and it's going the way of McGregor, who was put down. So a bit of frustration creeping in. And Blake McGregor's got the footy. He's 70 from home. He'll dump it inside the forward 50 and see who can catch it. And Cooper Jones bashes it out of play with a clenched fist to force a boundary throw in right forward pocket. Hawks into attack, trying to put themselves ahead. They trail by 4. We're past 18 minutes in this final term.
We haven't had long quarters here at all for the whole of the game. They've got it in their forward zone. The Borough. They trail by 4 points. Umpire will throw it in. Up they go in the ruck. Holmes doing the ruck work. Hurried kick out of the pack by Neves. Didn't go the required distance. It'll be a stoppage here. They all dive in front of the footy. It is. Umpire blows his whistle. 59 playing 55. Storm lead. Approaching 19 minutes. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Moments there for someone to seize. Who will it be that sticks their hand up? Bryce Frost. He chases after the footy. Got a handball up off the bottom of the pack. Clossey's waiting for it to come out. Good tackle from Frost. Wraps up Matt Harvey, who's been excellent today for the Storm. Kicked the go-ahead goal earlier in the term. And we will have another ball up. 8-11 to 8-7. Hawks inside forward 50. It's been camped across their half-forward line for the last couple of minutes. Free kick going to the Strathfieldsaye Storm. Benny Lester in defence will take it. And maybe now can relieve the pressure at least momentarily.
Handball to Geary. A short kick to Jones. Jones short kick forward to Harvey. Storm in possession. To Wilson. Short pass forward. Just barely going the required distance every time. Blandford spreads and leads and receives the footy. Marks it. Short pass forward again. Geez, they're working it, aren't they? James receives. True centre wing. Are they over-possessing? Jones goes backwards to go forward. They are the Storm here. Jones received. Spins the ball. Then he goes long. Down the line. Blandford was the target. Will it turn over? Ball spills towards the boundary line. Wilson. Handball over the top. Madden getting involved. Turnover. Steps over the line. And we'll have a ball in. Outer side. True centre wing.
Fresh Bendigo score update. 3 quick ones to Golden Square in a matter of a couple of minutes. And it is the Dogs who lead Castlemaine now 8-12 to 7-10. So Golden Square have kicked the last 3 goals in the game. Ball tossed back in here at Tannery Lane. Holmes pushed Simpson out of position in the ruck contest. It's jammed inside the forward 50 by Reinheimer. Back with the flight goes Bolger. Langford slapped it straight to Blandford. Goal at his mercy and he bounces it through. Pat Blandford stands up when his team needs him to and gives Strathfieldsaye a game-high 10-point lead. 9-11-65 plays 8-7-55. We're almost 20 minutes gone here in this final term, and now it's a real challenge for the Hawks to respond. Fresh Bendigo score sponsor JB Restumping.
Yes, you'd think the Hawks need the next goal within a matter of minutes from this centre bounce to remain in the contest. Another one to Strath and it's all over.
Up they go in the ruck. It'll be Holmes in the ruck now for the Borough. Thompson, that's Ben, over the top to Angove. Is this their chance to get another one on the board? Mullen received. Good short pass forward. He hits up his teammate in Ron Carey. He goes long, inside, deep to the line and goes over the boundary line, and it will be a ball in hard up against the point post. 10-point margin now. Storm lead. 22 minutes approaching. Final term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
3 goals to 1 in this final term thus far. I just feel like Storm have got a little bit more run in their legs. Ball chucked back in. Holmes rips it out of the ruck, throws it on the boot. It was controlled right to the line by Dole. Is it a point or is it a mark?
No, it's a mark.
It's a mark. So he did bring it in inside the behind line. Chips it short to Geary in the left back pocket. 9-11 to 8-7. It is the biggest lead that either side has had in the game. 10 points at the 22-minute mark of the final term. Geary drives it off half-back. Nice kick. And they've got some options now. King's got it for the Storm at left half-back. He pops it over the top to Marchese. And they can build this footy up the field again.
It was a short pass and it was effective, and he finds Jones on the outer side. In fact, it's Clossy. They've got the long sleeves on still. To Wilson. Short pass. Wilson back to Clossy. The old 1-2, racking up the possessions. He's been good this afternoon for the Storm. Off half back now. He'll go into the middle looking for Geary. Spills. It's okay. It went with Jackson Lay to the top of the 50 now for the Storm. Do they get another chance at it? Gordon somehow ended up with it. Handballs to Shishka, who ran on and will slam it through for the sealer. For his third. The Storm are home, you would think now. 10-11-71. They lead 8-7-55. We're well into red time in the final term. Score sponsor, Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yes, good persistence by Strath then. They held on to the ball, especially Clossy down back. He had three goes at it, was then able to get the ball forward, get it into the centre, and from there it was Joel Reinert that ran onto it and made no mistake with his kick forward, and there was no mistake at the end with Shishka running into an open goal.
He's put it beyond doubt as James Shishka. 16 points the margin. And the Storm have got all the run in their legs at the moment. Jackson Lay kicks to centre half forward. Luke Marchese charging out. Pulls it in, right foot kick to the pocket. Harvey almost worked Coomer under it. It'll be a free kick to the Borough's defence. Langford knows that the urgency's there if there any chance, and Frost has somehow pulled that in front of Jones. Jones just shakes his head, thought he had first hands on it. Left foot kick in field from Frost. It's cut off by Marchese. He then left it behind. Ben Thompson gives it back to Frost, who tries a big barrel to half forward.
He does, and it just spills. It'll be a turnover. Hurried kick now from the Storm for half back. Wilson jumped high and early. Marchese as well getting involved. Picked up nicely by Jackson Lay to the back door to Jones. Getting involved also was Carson Jones into the middle. Another turnover. Oh, Evans. That was very, very clever. He didn't grab it. It was like a fresh air handball, if that makes kind of sense. Ben Thompson goes forward now for the Borough. Picked up by Frost. Gives it to Mullen, short pass, and they'll get a shot at goal through Isley, who receives a mark.
Injury concern here for Lockie Gill, who's gone down with a pretty sore left leg, so you hope that's only a stinger or a bit of a tweak, because he's an important part of the Storm team.
If there any chance, he's going to have to kick it, but I just don't think there's enough time. Isley of the Borough won't be a goal, minor score. So he just had to hurry it. 56 playing 71, Eaglehawk trail. 25 and a half gone. Final term, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Been another final quarter fade out from Eaglehawk. It was an issue for them last year, and it's presented itself again today. Gordon marks the kick in, turns in field. What can he find? Looking for Shishka. Running past it was Bolger. Couple of Hawks converge. It was Bolger and Thompson. Forced it loose. Curling kick around the body from O'Brien. Found Isley 60 metres from home. Jabs it inside the 50 to the chest of Neves, who presents up strongly, takes the mark. 30 out, and this has to go through. No ifs, buts or maybes here for Jonty Neves. It's almost impossible, but to make it anything like reality, Jonty Neves this to sail through the middle of the big sticks. Left foot kick from 30 metres out is a goal. And he keeps a faint flame flickering for Eaglehawk. Margin is cut back. It is only 9 points now, 9-8-62. Jonty Neves kicks his second of the game, so they've got a 9-point gap to make up. Can't be too long left. Fresh Bendigo. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder.
Yes, we're heading for the longest quarter in the game this last quarter. We've gone 26 minutes. The second quarter went 27-5, so not much to go in the game.
6 goals kicked in this final term so far.
Back into the middle. It'll be Eaglehawk that'll win it. They'll win it through Rouse. They're screaming for a free kick. Won't get it. It'll be the Storm. They've just got to run the gauntlet, don't they, now?
It was a clever setup at the stoppage, really, just to open up the space goal side and have someone bursting through. It almost worked.
Now, Shannon Geary, he's going to kick it. Oh, long way back. He put his teammate Jones under pressure. He had Richards looming, but Mulqueeny, they'll clear it now. Geez, that was a dangerous bit of play. That would have made things interesting. Carson James, short pass. That's okay. Hits up Clossy. Geez, he's been good this afternoon, Clossy, too. I just seem to be calling him all the time. Clossy, short pass to Mulqueeny. They're in their back zone here. In fact, it's gone off hand. He didn't mark it, and it's going to be a ball in. 71 playing 62. Storm lead. 28 minutes have ticked over here in this final term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
It's 2-1 when these two sides met last year. Eaglehawk won both in the regular season. The Storm beat them in the finals. And it's the Storm by 9 points here, 28 gone final term. Geary off halfback, sends it to the middle of the ground. Madden takes the mark, juggling it. And again, they just need to fire it forward here, the Hawks. Pokes it forward to Evans. Evans goes inside the forward 50. Neves comes crashing out, clatters through a couple of bodies. Rolls is there to push his opponent off the football. Handball back to Ben Thompson. He's dragged down. Spills to Ratcliffe for the Storm. Outlets to halfback to King. And that 9-point margin, 29 minutes gone now in this final term. King finds Wilson, centre of the outer side, in front of the scoreboard, and he continue to take the air out of the footy.
Goes 30 to go back to King. King now, short pass forward. Ratcliffe receives of the Storm.
Fresh score update. It is a 7-point game down at Camp Reserve. Golden Square leading, but there's still 5 minutes remaining in that one, so I'll keep you across it.
Ratcliffe, short pass forward to Wilson. As the siren goes, and the Storm, a good, strong fought-out win by the Storm here, out at Tannery Lane at home. They win 10-11-71 to Eaglehawk, the Borough, 9-8-62.
They come from behind in that final quarter to the Strathfieldsaye Storm, and they ran out that game really strongly. The Borough led by 6 at half-time, by 5 at three-quarter time. The margin didn't get above 8 points for the first 3 quarters of the game, and Strathfieldsaye end up winning by 9 points. The Hawks kicking the last of the game, but it was not enough, and that was a really assured performance in the end in that final quarter from the Strathfieldsaye Storm. Made to work, and what was a terrific game of footy ends in a great finish and a Strathfieldsaye win, and the Storm will go to 3-0 on this young BFNL season. And after this round of footy, they will sit atop the table, having defeated Eaglehawk today. Goal kickers for the Storm: Abe Sheen kicked 3, James Shishka kicked 3, 2 to Malik Gordon, 1 to Matt Harvey, 1 to Patrick Blanford. Blanford's goal, a critical one in that final term. And for the Hawks, 2 to Darcy Richards, 2 to Joel Mellon, 2 to Bailey Ilesley, and a couple to Jonty Neves as well, including the final goal of the game, and 1 goal to Sam O'Shannessy for Eaglehawk. So not a massive spread of goal kickers between the two teams, just the 9 in total, but a great game of footy and a deserved win for Strathfieldsaye, Norm Jenkins.
It was a great win for Strathfieldsaye, and the second time this year on their home deck that they've run a game out and ground their opposition into the turf. They did it in round 1 against South Bendigo, where they ran home in the last quarter and put the game beyond doubt. They've done it again today against Eaglehawk in what, for me, was a very entertaining game of football. It was fast-flowing. Both sides had different ways of playing the game. Eaglehawk at times tried to use the Strath way of playing, but their entries into the forward 50 weren't the best that they could have been, and in the end it was Strath who changed their entry into forward 50 to a long kick that came out on top.